Shane O'Farrell. That guy's awesome.
All right. We're live. Oh, wow.
Wait. Can we say it? Exclusive!
Exclusive content here. Only 10 people know about that, so.
Oh, nice.
Don't go sharing.
Sorry. Romer the Romer. Exclusive content.
I did not mean to go YouTube vertical, but we're going YouTube vertical right now.
Vertical.
So it's happening.
Is that cool? Are we stuck?
Are we stuck? Let's see.
I don't think you should change it.
Let's see. Can I turn sideways? It's going to tell me to turn up, I think, if we go sideways.
Are we good? Nah, let's go vertical.
We're going vertical.
Verticality. Crazy with crap for this.
Bro, why would you
YouTube vertical? Couple questions. 1, comment. Thanks for being here. 2, why are you here on a Friday night? Go out and have some fun.
Why are you always trying to scare people away? You want to scoot over a little bit?
I don't actually want people to sit and watch.
All right.
It's kind of weird. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.
Cheers. I'm almost done with this one,
Yeah,
so I'm about to crack another one open. So we're going to start with the questions. Hopefully I'm not talking too close to this mic. Let me know real quick how the sound is. How is the sound quality? Is it good? Do we sound good right now? Dude, I go live at YouTube, just like with my baby ass YouTube channel, like Reezy said.
They're tripping. It's Saturday. Oh, it is Saturday.
I go live.
This is the best part of being an entrepreneur. I don't even know what day it is. It is Saturday. What are y'all doing on a Saturday night? Go have some fun.
I go live on like Thursday nights after salsa dancing at like 2 a.m. I just have like a fired up idea and like 25 people will come in.
That's awesome.
And it's like 2 in the morning. It's crazy.
I can't believe I thought it was Friday. I think when you fly somewhere, you just lose track. Like you feel like you're suspended between time and space and reality.
With you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
We got this high-end
Happy Saturday.
microphone.
Hey, grab me one.
My affiliate link is going to be in the description for this $12 microphone.
Your 8% commission is going to be
let us,
awesome.
Let us know how this is actually, because I'm really interested in. This is our first. It's actually my first YouTube video using this, posting with this. Besides my. Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
Wow!
Sorry, man down.
Wow! Now
I'm
we're
just trying to grab you a beer.
Yeah.
Here, go
did
that
you
way.
did you grab me one?
Yeah, got you.
Okay, great. We're good.
A lager. Is that cool?
All right. Should I put this here temporarily? All right, temporarily it's here. Does it? Let me know if it sounds good. Wow, my neck is red. That is. Oh, Matthew Osborne's texting us. Matthew. Let's see what he said. Hold on, 1 second, guys. And we're back. Matthew Osborne. We're making restrictedinventory.com. I didn't mean to steal that from Rake and Profit, but .com is like a common thing that websites have.
Matthew Osborne needs to come up with his own name. He's just Matthew Osborne. We've got Romer the Romer, the Book Flipper, Rake and Profits, Reezy Resells. Matt, what are you going to be?
Well, there's like Elon Musk, Joe Rogan goes with his own name.
He's
there's
clearly
a
a level above us because he doesn't need a
Yeah, he's too cool. He's too cool. He doesn't need a character. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Here we go.
Let us know how the sound quality. I want to see if you guys commented about the sound quality because that's actually sounds fine. The beer may be interfering though.
I don't think that's interfering. Here we go.
Says, let's see. Okay. All right. I think the sound's good, and we'll check all these questions in a second. But we're gonna. Oh, did not mean to end the live video. Let's not end it. You can see I'm not the best at this. How do I get back to regular? I think it'll just go away.
Questions there.
All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go over all the questions you guys asked both on Snap. There we go. It's gone. On Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So all you guys asked these questions. I wrote them down. We're going to go through we're going to blaze through these. And then after this, we're going to get into questions that you guys have. So go ahead and hit that like button. Make that algorithm work.
Subscribe.
If you guys don't like this, hit the dislike button. You got to let us know up front because otherwise we're confused. We think we're the shit when we're not. We got to make sure we're the shit.
Not.
You know? So just let us know. First question. There we go.
You need to get a little stand.
I do. I had a little.
We can like build one here.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
throw a couple coasters on each
that's
side.
What that was for.
There we go. How's that?
All right. You put it in the middle like that.
No, I thought it was going to be a little higher.
Maybe we should put it in there.
We'll get this. Guys, thanks for being here. If you guys don't know, Romer the Romer's real name is Avery. So, glad to be here. I'm Caleb, the Book Flipper.
What's up, guys?
Avery and I go way back. He actually showed up at a Turn the Page conference. My wife was actually asking how we met the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, he came to our first Turn the Page event in LA and showed up late and then like came and sat next to me, but I knew who you were before then.
Why?
Because you were Canoe Boy.
Yeah.
Because you were driving around the country with a canoe strapped to your Corolla.
And so we were just talking about Facebook groups. I now have my own Facebook group, Rome with the Romer Seller Community, and I was like, what's your policy with posting, other people posting their content in your group? And he's like, I don't like it when other people post their content, blah blah blah. It's like, and I'm dealing with that too. Some people try to post their content. Reezy doesn't let me post in his group.
But the fact that you asked that was a really nice.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask when I posted
well.
in Reezy's group originally. I just
I
posted the canoe video. So I was living in my car in the middle of New Mexico, and I posted a video of me doing what I didn't know shit about books back then. I didn't know what a library sale was. And I posted about me living in my car and how I did FBA. And a lot of people resonated with it. And then I messaged him nonstop. And I appreciate you reaching out to all, responding to all my messages. I was impressed. And then he knew my face because a lot of you guys, I feel like a lot of you guys need to make your face your profile picture because a lot of you guys have your dog or your pet or something as your profile picture or something irrelevant. And when I meet you in person, I don't know who you are. But I had my face in my profile picture, so I walk in, and I was wearing sweatpants and chacos, and then Caleb turns around and sees me. I'm like an hour late, and the only seat available is right next to him. He's like, oh, shit, this kid's got to sit next to me.
I think you were intimidated, actually.
I was super intimidated. And then
it was awesome.
Reezy's fucking team had a camera that came in my face, and they were like, all right, tell us your story, blah, blah, blah. And because I guess everyone answered the questions to that camera.
But you were jumping up late.
Yeah, so it was everyone was looking at
what was going on.
Yeah, I was just like, what the hell is going on here?
Welcome to the party.
Then I found out that these guys are really making it selling books, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But yeah, so let's dive into these topics before you want to hold that real quick.
Sure.
I'll open up my beer.
Open up a beer.
So the first question is
so this is just, there's no theme here. Random book questions, Saturday night. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're going to be running up the art?
Making me nervous about going salsa dancing tonight after you said that.
What's the steps here?
What do you mean?
There's the Rocky Steps. Is that the art museum, history museum? Anyway,
we're
gonna be totally doing that. Probably taking a selfie with the Liberty Bell.
We should definitely do that.
Yeah. So if you're in Philly, look us up. I think Monday is a down day for us unless we find some books to get into. Yeah. So look us up Monday. Grab dinner. Do something fun.
Yeah, and it's currently the 23rd?
24th of August. Yeah, so Monday, the 26th. If you guys are watching
this on Sunday or something, we'll still be here for 2 more days.
Look us up.
So just know that. The first question is, how do you get rid of your duds?
Easy. So duds, step one, don't get duds. Then you don't have to get rid of them. If you do find yourself with the mysterious condition called duds, find the nearest Better World books bin, drop them in, problem solved. We can say this because we actually went and got a tour of Better World Books facility in Indiana last month. It's impressive. 5.5 million books in their Indiana warehouse alone. 5.5 million. So for all of those out there worried that somebody is, there's too many booksellers getting into this game, there's somebody with 5.5 million books that makes us all look really pitiful.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Duds. Avery's got pretty good ways to monetize. I feel like he should be answering this question. But you can get rid of duds by donating them. Please don't throw them in a trash can. That's not great. They go to landfills. It's not amazing. You can try and recycle them if you have...
Rob Knight on Facebook does that. I think he told me one time that
he just trashes them. Do you see Matt Adolph's video where he was burning them? He was burning the book. He's
when you said Matt Adolf, I thought Matthew Osborne.
No, he's like, here's how to handle the books, and I'm like, I know he's trolling people.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering how that would go over, but I don't think he got that much hate for that video.
I know, but burning books, I'm like, oh boy, this is.
He burned some good ones too.
It's not going to go well. Donate them. If you have a store that buys back, like Avery takes his to McKay's, using lots of pseudonyms and
McKay's store owner, if you're watching this right now, I appreciate you.
Des Moines, thank you for that. We have Second and Charles in our area. We drop them off. We dropped off a box or two of duds the other day. I think we got $4. That was awesome.
We're going to change the sound quality of this video. My phone's on low battery, and I do not want this video to die.
Sometimes you can find a local store that gives you trade credit or cash. That's an option to make some money. If you have enough, I saw somebody did a garage sale. Forget who that was, but they did a garage sale with their duds and made a couple $100 on a Friday or Saturday.
That was impressive.
That's an option to do it as well.
I think that's actually a really good option because that's time you can spend checking emails or doing something else.
Well, in your networking, if people are coming to buy books, they obviously like books. They might have other books they can give you.
Right.
You can build connections. We talked about this in our live yesterday, Matthew Osborne and I. There's two ways to get books. One is to find a market that already exists. So go to garage sales, thrift stores, libraries, go find places that books are already listed for sale. The other is to create your own market. So tell people what you do. Many of you out there, and I did this myself when I first started, I was nervous. I didn't want people seeing it. So I'm in a thrift store scanning, and I'm kind of kept to myself and, you know, making sure that the employees can't see me, and if other customers come in, I'm kind of hiding. Don't do that. Tell people what you do. I guarantee that will lead to more good things than bad things. You'll have a few people get mad that you're reselling and hurting the market or whatever, but tell people what you do.
Yeah.
And back to getting rid of debts, I guess, is where we were going. But anyway, we could follow that.
I mean, there's 1,000 ways. Recyclers, thrift stores. There's literally endless ways to get rid of duds. If you can monetize them, you're an OG. Just know that.
Yeah, but figure out what your time's worth too. If you can sit at a garage sale for 8 hours and you only make $20, is it worth it?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
So, but try it. I'm a big fan of trying everything once, except drugs. But try everything once. If you don't like it,
He's got two phones, y'all. I don't know if I believe 3 phones. I don't know if I believe him when he says that, but maybe he's telling the truth. So the second question is triggers for all categories. When's that coming out?
We already have triggers. I'm assuming this is ScoutIQ question. We have triggers for books, CDs, DVDs, and games. Let us know what triggers you'd like, what other categories, and we can look to add those. Right now, we're just media only.
Okay. And I forgot to give people shout outs for these questions. This is from Shane OF. He asked this question twice. He asked it once on Instagram and once on Facebook.
Shane O'Farrell.
So yeah, his name's Shane O'Farrell.
Did we meet him
Facebook.
in Chicago?
I don't even want to answer that because I don't know now.
I'm pretty sure Shane was there.
Making me feel like a dick.
He's the Irish guy.
Okay. Is he?
I'm
The Irish
assuming.
dude was cool. Whoever the Irish dude is.
It was Shane
legit.
and his wife, right? And they were both getting ready to quit their jobs.
Was it Megan?
Maybe. It was not Megan.
Okay.
That was Megan Hano.
Something like that. Anyway, his question is how to analyze the performance of your repricer. And actually, I really like that question.
Can you help me open that?
Yeah.
I need a fancy bottle opener.
How do you analyze?
How do you analyze the performance of your repricer? That is a good one. Ultimately, it's sales, but you should look at ratios. So if you guys follow me for any length of time, you know I track 3 metrics. What are they? Comment below. Give you 2 seconds. I track 3 metrics. One is how many books are we sourcing each week? Because if you're not sourcing books, if you're not filling the top of your funnel, you're not really growing the business. So are you finding books? Finding and listing. It might be,
finding books is a real
yeah, we struggled today. We'll tell you that story in a bit. Are you finding books? If so, that's your first step, because if you're not doing that, nothing else really matters. Are you filling the top of your funnel? The other 2 metrics are really related to the quality of the books and the quality of your repricing. I track what's my turn rate, and that's just fancy speak for what % of my inventory is selling. You can look at that daily, weekly, monthly. I like a weekly level.
How do you calculate that weekly?
So if you have 1,000 books in inventory and you sold 50 in a week, your turn rate is 5%. 50 divided by 1,000. Check my math real quick. It is late. It's not late.
And how many books should people be?
So if
aspiring
you're
to turn?
if you're merchant fulfilled selling books, you should be selling about 1 to 1.5% of your inventory a day. So if you have 1,000 books, you should be selling about 10. If you have smaller inventories like 500, these numbers don't necessarily apply. You really need larger numbers to kind of get that to equal out. You know, we see people with 50 books listed going, I went 3 days without selling a book. What's wrong? Well, you don't have enough inventory. Go back to step 1, find more books.
Yeah.
Step 2 is your turn rate. And again, FBA, I feel like sells a little bit slower than merchant fulfilled, usually because it's a little bit higher price. So FBA, good turn rate per week is usually 4 to 5%. You should be selling 15 to 20% per month. So if you're repricing, you should be getting a baseline before you do anything with repricing. So what's your normal turn rate? Is it normally 4% a week consistently? And then you turn on a repricer, fiddle with the settings, and now it goes up to 6. That's a measurable difference. Make sure that maintains. That's one way to check and say, yep, I'm selling more items. The second part of the equation, though, is am I selling them for a high enough price? Am I making profit? Because we all love to show numbers, and I'm a 6-figure seller, I'm a 7-figure, 8-figure, whatever it is, I'm a big seller. Who cares what your top line is? All that really matters is what trickles down and shows up in your bank account at the end of the day, because you can't buy beer with Amazon sales, you can buy beer with cash.
I'm going to go ahead and disclose this because I've had a couple beers, but your biggest problem with Reprice It was that they didn't based off profit. That was one of your concerns,
Yeah, they're looking
right?
at just selling price.
Yeah,
period.
so like one of their safety nets was low price. So it was like no. People like the 950 is like what a lot of people don't want to sell their books.
Right, a
on
floor
there.
price, for example.
Yeah, but a
So
textbook.
This
yeah.
book right here is really light, probably weighs, I don't know, 11 ounces, 12 ounces. It's going to be just under the cutoff, and this is probably like a $2.41 fulfillment fee from Amazon. This book is not that much bigger, but it's a little thicker. It's hardcover. It's actually probably weighs about 1.3, 1.4 pounds. This is actually going to trigger to the next category. It's going to be like 470. So you go from 240 roughly to 470 for 2 books. So if you have the same floor price, $9, you might make $4 on this book. You might make $1.50 on this book.
Yeah.
So the floor price doesn't matter. You gotta factor in the fees.
So he actually developed his own like little, I don't know if it's called software or whatever, but your big thing was it's based off profit, which is
Yes.
that's very important when running a business is like actual profit,
Yeah.
not sales numbers, not even turn rate. Like the most important thing at the end of the day is are you actually making money?
Well, and this goes back to personal finance too that we've been talking about. I feel like the last several business conversations I've had, whether it's consulting or just chatting with somebody, has always gone back to personal finance, and that's what we've talked about with you a bit as well. It doesn't matter if you can't control your own money. First of all, you're not going to be able to control it in a business. You have to manage yourself, and then you
Yeah.
can manage other
That's a
people,
big-
your business, etc.
Side note: I'm going to give away this book at the end of this YouTube live. It's $10. You guys got to pay for this because I don't want to give this away for free. But that's actually a main point in this book is when you change your business, you got to change yourself first. Like in order to change your business, like your business is a reflection of you. Is your business organized? Does it have all of its ducks in a row? Or is your business a mess? Because if your business is a mess, your room's probably a mess. You're probably a mess, and like that's true. It's really true. Like looking at my own life, I'm like, damn. I think my business is actually better than my room if I had to compare the two. But it's like
making your bed.
I look at
Like the little
the
things.
areas in my business, and I'm like I wasn't tight on them. That's my main problem. So it's like everything you do, like you have to change your person. A lot of you guys don't have balls. A lot of you guys don't have like the balls to like go out and actually do something. Well, that's probably a reflection of your own personal life. You probably don't have the balls to do stuff in your personal life. So in order to get that in your business, first get the balls to do it. That's like the most important step. So in order to change your business, you have to change yourself first. So that's I like that point, and that's in this book. So if you guys are interested in this book, $10, comment. Let's see what should they comment. Comment #eMyth. This is a very popular book. The Book Flipper's read it himself. This is recommended by one of my other mentors. So I want to give this away at the end of this video. I'm going to scroll through the comments at the very end.
Give it away for $10.
Give it away for
It's free. You just have to pay the $10 shipping.
That's right. Yeah, that's
That's what everybody does.
That's what a lot of people are doing now. I've seen that. But they do like $4 shipping because they negotiated prices with FedEx. The prices I can't negotiate. I've tried calling them up and negotiating. I'm still working on it. I'll get it eventually. But anyway, so yeah, let's move on to the next
Books
one.
listed, turn rate, average selling price. Those are really what matters, and you're going to balance those. So if you could set your repricer to drop the price, match the lowest merchant fulfilled, assuming you're prime, you could blow out your inventory, get your turn rate up 6, 7, 8, 10% maybe in a week.
Yeah.
The problem is you're leaving money on the table. So it's about finding that sweet spot, figuring out. For me, on any given week, it's 4 to 5% is what I target. Of course, textbook season is very different. We're selling a much higher percentage of our books right now, which is awesome, and then that'll go back down in a month or two as demand drops off.
Shout out to Accelerlist. That's the software I use, and on their dashboard page, they actually give you like 6 or 7 metrics. But those 3 metrics he just said, my personal favorite is books listed, because I assume I have the other 2 in check. Because I assume I'm not throwing.
You assume
stuff.
the system's there, right?
Yeah.
So you know that if you list 1,000 books, at some point they're going to trickle out. You're going to sell.
I assume I'm not sending in
most of them.
shitty books, and I also assume that my books are going to turn.
Yep.
Because I assume that like my repricing system's in place, and that the books I send in are profitable. So all I care about at that point is how many books did I list this month? Did I list 1,000? Did I list 10,000? How many did I list? And that's really, I care more about books listed than sales.
Because you know there's a connection. That's what we talked about at dinner tonight too.
Oh yeah.
The connection. The hard part is you go out, you scan a bunch of books, you bring a bunch of books home. That's great. It's real. Like you get that dopamine hit. You know that it's working. Your app says accept. You're like, yes, I'm going to make money. But you're like, wait, now what? I have to list these.
Yeah.
I have to send them off to some mysterious warehouse, and then maybe somebody buys it, and then maybe a month from now I get money in my account.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect. But we know now that the system works. It's not just some guru selling a course, right? So when we list a book, we know that it's going to turn into money.
Yeah.
So we find a $100 book with an e-score of 50 and it's selling regularly. We know that we can sell that book.
Yeah.
So we know it's going to turn into $80 bill.
Yeah, and this may seem elementary, but that's like a huge point. And we got a book over here. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's like the grandfather of self-help books. Is it in there? We probably took it in. It's probably part of our thumbnail. But anyway, it's a great book on like how first you have to have a vision. You have to imagine something. You actually have to be able to fathom what's going to happen in your head before you do it. And as a wrestling coach and as a wrestler myself, I wrestled for 12 years of my life. One of the biggest things I realized is like when I would learn a move, the move would only really become real after I hit it in a match. So I would hit it at practice and I would do it on my partner and he would let me do it and I knew he let me do it and it wasn't really real. It's like when you scan a book with ScoutIQ, it says, $10 profit. Okay, that's great, $10 profit. I've never sold books on Amazon before. I don't know if I'm actually going to make that money. Not until you actually sell that book do you realize you got the profit. So once that profit is actually in your bank account, you're like, oh shit, this is real. So when I see that $10 profit, it's real. So in wrestling, whenever you're doing a setup, it's called a setup before you take a shot. Whenever you do that setup and the guy reacts a certain way and you take the shot, you can do all that at practice, but until you actually hit that in a match, until you actually get the referee says 2 points for a takedown, until that happens like 2 or 3 times in a match, you don't really realize it's real. And I realized that when I was wrestling, I wouldn't really connect until I got that 2 takedown in a match. And once I got that, I think of all the moves I do. I only do moves that the referee told me 2 points. It's not theoretical. I could hit it perfectly at practice. You can scan a book. It says $1,000 profit. Doesn't mean you're going to make that. But once you realize that the profit's real and that you understand what's on the screen of ScoutIQ and that you understand how to make it go through the system of Amazon FBA and actually like come back to your bank account, that's when you start getting excited about just seeing it. Because once you understand it and you grasp it, that's when it becomes real. So
definitely. That's why we'll go out and we'll scout books and we'll say, hey, we just paid for dinner. Well, we didn't actually. We didn't turn it into cash, but we have relative confidence that it's going to turn into cash. And quick formula, we've talked about this. Let's say you find $10,000 total. You have an awesome week. You just kill it. Find a ton of textbooks. You go list everything. You list you're not using $200 price points. You're actually listing it. If you list it for $10,000, how much is going to actually show up in your bank account? Do you know?
8,000? Or wait. You list
$10,000.
And it's 10,000 profit or 10,000?
10,000 list price. What's going to end up back in your bank account?
For textbooks?
Let's just say average book, so $20 to $25.
I don't know. I'd say like 5,000.
Yeah, 50%. Nailed it. So about 50%. You're going to sell 75 to 80% of your inventory. Amazon's going to take on a $20 bill. They're going to take 40%. So you get 0.6, you get 60% payout from Amazon, and you're going to sell 0.8. So 0.6 times 0.8, 0.48, basically half. So if you list $10,000, I know that like clockwork, within 3 to 6 months, it's going to turn into $5,000 cash back in my bank account, and then of course whatever I paid for it, expenses along the way, etc. But that's kind of the formula, and that a lot, again, you can then set your business to say, hey, I need to make $3,000 a week to make my numbers work. That's a lot. $2,000 a week, $100,000 a year, right? So I need to list $4,000 worth of books in order to someday be getting to the point where I have 6 figures coming back into my account, minus software, minus mileage, minus labor, etc. But I need to do that. So you need to list $4,000, $20 books. You need to find 200 books a week. 200 books a week, once you have a healthy inventory that's selling regularly, turns into $100,000 back in your bank account. Boom. There's some numbers on a Saturday night. All right, other questions, hit me.
All right, let's start blazing through these because I know you guys got lots of questions. And if you guys have more questions, comment them below because we're going to answer every single one tonight. You up for that?
Let's do it. It's only 9:15 Eastern or
yeah,
Colorado time.
Mountain
We're good.
time.
Mountain time.
I will say this also, Matthew, if you're watching this, I hate how you always use mountain time because no one uses mountain time. You either use Pacific time or Eastern time. I don't even use Central time when I post on my videos because I know
hilarious because someone's like, "What? He just posted like we're going live at like I don't know 11 MST.
Yeah,
And someone
like,
goes, "What time is that?" He's like, "It's 11 Mountain."
It's like on Mars right now. It's 11 o'clock. Like,
Cool, man. I don't understand. You didn't answer this one, the digital one.
Okay. We
That's a good question.
From Mo Dollar Man on Instagram.
Insta.
He says, future with publishers going digital, can we still be profitable 5 to 10 years in the future selling textbooks?
The 5 to 10 year question. Love it. I don't know the future in 5 to 10 years. I know that we can make money today, and I'm going to make hay while the sun shines. Side note,
Your wife said that, right? Shout out, Michaela. She say that? I saw that on your blog, I think.
We both say it.
Okay.
It's a good phrase.
Gotcha.
It's our Indiana roots coming out, making hay. It's this crop.
Use the restroom real quick. Taking a restroom break. Book Flippers got it. Hold it down.
I'm just going to talk on my own. Where'd my co-host go? Okay, so digital. Future in 5 years. We actually went and saw Better World Books about a month ago. I asked this same question to them. They're doing a lot more in sales than probably any of us combined. All of us watching right now combined. So they've got, again, 5.5 million books in inventory. And I asked them, I said, you guys have been in the game for a long time. You're watching the trends. Do you guys feel like you're already on the downside of the mountain, like the best is behind you? Or do you think the best is still yet to come? They said there's still runway. From what they're seeing, from their knowledge, they still think there's upside. So that's really encouraging to me. It's easy to get all doom and gloom. Publishers going digital, though, to that specific question, Pearson has announced that they are going to be going digital. I think starting with a portion of their inventory next year, probably over the next 2 or 3 years, it'll take time to cycle through it. They're trying to combat a lot of the counterfeit books that are out there, which is driving their price down, as well as used book sales. They don't make money on it. So publishers have tried adding like QR codes into the books, like some sort of like digital trackers and like holographic chips, trying to find ways to make sure the books are legit and authentic, and people are still copying them. Then they've tried to do basically where the book doesn't matter and it's all about the access code, and a lot of schools haven't really adopted that. So now they're trying to go digital, like a Netflix subscription. Say that 8 times fast. So they're trying to go digital. Other publishers have tried this where you basically pay a $500 a semester or a year access fee and get access to all the textbooks out there. That would be great for the publishers, bad for us as booksellers, although there's a lot of schools that would not necessarily switch right away. And so books right now that might not
What's
be
in it for the school if they do that $500 subscription?
They'd probably get a kickback on that.
Okay.
Because the bookstore is making the money, and oftentimes the bookstore is owned by the school. So that's actually going back, or the school gets a portion of that, depending on the arrangement. But if it went digital, the interesting thing is not all schools would switch over to that right away. And so books that are 3 to 4 to 5 years old that may not be very profitable today may actually go back up in value because demand is going to be there and supply might not be because the big players probably recycle them. So look, if you're textbook heavy and you're trying to figure out, is this going to kill your business? It could definitely impact it. Is it something to be scared about and worry about? Not really. It's outside your control. Keep running it while you can. It's not going to die this semester. It won't die next semester. Is it going to go down? Probably. But textbooks have been they've been under fire for a while. They're very expensive. You can spend $1,000 in a semester, $600, $800. I forget the average cost, but it's high per semester. And textbook publishers have had their heyday. They've made their money, and people are stepping up and finding ways to cut back. And actually, as resellers, as flippers, we don't get to provide a ton of value, right? We're just going and finding something in one location, selling it to somebody in another. That's it. We're the middleman. But I love selling textbooks. One, we make a lot of money on it. Two, we're actually helping the community. We're helping a student save some money, which they can then spend on beer, important things in life. But they can save the money. Instead of spending $300 on a textbook, they can buy ours for $100. We paid a couple dollars at a thrift store, or maybe we bought on Facebook Marketplace or Eflip or something. But that's pretty cool. We get to help save some students some money along the way. Everybody makes a profit. We did. Students save some money, and it's a win-win. So yes, publishers are going digital. They've been trying it for a while, and it'll be interesting to see how that trend continues.
Yeah, part of me actually secretly hopes that textbooks, I think it's ridiculous how expensive textbooks are, and that's kind of why I got into selling books, is because they were so expensive. I'd rather sell my own books than rent a book. So part of me is empathetic towards the student, and I just know that in the next 10 years, school is not going to be as popular. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I definitely, like, schools are closing down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negative publicity. Like, why would you pay 20 grand, 30, 40, 50 grand a year to go to college and get a degree that maybe doesn't mean a whole lot?
So I think the textbook market, 100% is going to go down.
It's just a matter of how much.
Yeah.
Is it going to die? Nobody knows. I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt it. It'll still be there in some degree.
It might come up in a different way. Maybe trade school's going to come up, or some other way it'll come back up. But like I think in general, the gen eds are definitely going to go down because I think it's ridiculous how much they're charging. And like I'm actually not upset. That's how I make a living. But like it's like I really do think it's ridiculous because I remember being a college student paying that much. I never paid that much. I always bought the books and resold them. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing today because I realized there was money in it. And I realized there was like stuff like seasonality where you could buy a book in July and resell it for more in August. Like this shit's crazy. But yeah. So, but I think when it comes to like the used book market, like these self-help books and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up or what. But I think they're not really together. Like the textbook market.
It's a separate market.
The other, so like.
Yeah, if textbooks go down, that won't necessarily impact all of books.
Yeah.
The interesting thing right now, a lot of the questions we're seeing is, are we due for a recession? And it's going to definitely play into the next political cycle. Democrats want a recession to happen so we can make fun of Trump and get a different president in. Republicans and conservatives don't want a recession to happen so we can keep Trump in office, right? So there's a lot of discussion. What's going to happen? There's a lot of uncertainty, and people are sitting on the sidelines. In a recession, guess what people do? They start saving money. So more of them get out and start looking to flip books. More people are reading used books, which helps us.
ScoutIQ is going to go through the roof. You better invest in it during a recession.
We'll take your investment dollars. But people are going to be buying used books instead of new ones. They're going to be trying to better themselves. They'll be going back to college. College is actually recessionary. When the economy's poor, people go to college knowing that they need to invest and have a long-term play.
But see, I don't know if that's going to be like the next recession that happens. I think people might be, I don't know.
Almost every recession.
Up until now because, but I feel like college is a problem now for a lot of people because it's so fucking expensive. So I feel like a big part of the recession is going to be like student debt. You know what I mean? So like student debt
it's
is
always something. It's credit card debt, it's housing debt.
Well, student debt is definitely a huge problem, and people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, why would we keep going to college? So I feel like maybe there'll be a decline in college, but like I said, I feel like there's going to be like an increase in like trade school or something. I don't know. We'll watch this video in 10 years and figure it out.
We'll find out. We're just guessing.
But
it's like weather, people.
Keep dropping the questions, guys, and make sure to smash that like button. Do those two things, and we'll get to those. We're only on the first page of questions.
Let's keep going.
From Instagram.
Fast.
And we're going to try to blaze through these, and then after we get through these, we're going to get to your questions. Every single one. So, this is interesting, and I'm going to ask it. I kind of already know the answer to it.
We'll go fast on this one.
How do you get unrestricted in textbooks?
So, if you're restricted in textbooks, I heard 2 people yesterday, 1 today, emailed, Facebook, something, and said, hey, I just got restricted in popular textbooks. What's up? We don't know what's up. Amazon has been restricting people. Usually it's because there's a counterfeit claim somewhere along the way from a publisher, or who knows? We were talking about it today. Maybe you've been selling too high a percentage of textbooks. No idea. Again, the textbook publishers don't want you selling textbooks. They don't make money when you sell a used textbook. They want students to buy new textbooks, and they'd love it if all used textbooks crashed and burned and got destroyed, which some of them are trying to move to a rental-only model. So,
can we rent books?
Can we like sell rentals?
Can I rent my books out and get my books back?
You got to be approved on Amazon. You could do it locally. Okay. Find out what books are important, rent them out. Make sure you get credit cards so people don't steal your books. No, probably a good idea. You get to make money off the asset for several years.
Yeah.
How do you get unrestricted? Amazon's not allowing you to get unrestricted right now. So I don't know that it's worth it. I don't know if you can. The guy from Franklin Media was saying that you could get an invoice for a specific ISBN, one at a time, not like auto ungated. Right now, they're not. So if you're gated, unfortunately, you're gated. If you have more than 50 textbooks that are restricted, send them to me. I'll work out a deal with you. If you have just 1 or 2, Avery's got a great program. RestrictedInventory.com.
RestrictedInventory.com.
Coming soon.
And by the time you guys will watch this, a lot of you guys will watch this.
Avery's got a great hustle going. He will take your inventory.
Yeah, so, I'm going to go a couple different directions with this. But yeah, RestrictedInventory.com is coming up. I'll sell you restricted inventory for you guys. CDs, DVDs, textbooks on a 50-50 split. My listers, they'll clean everything. They'll check for counterfeits. and we're basically just selling my account. Also, I know a guy who developed this software that checks for it. Basically, it's like an insurance policy for keeping you ungated. So if you guys are interested in staying ungated in textbooks, if any of you guys are ungated right now and don't want to get gated, there's certain things that do make you gated that we know for sure make you gated. Like we were just talking about, we don't know everything, but we know a couple things that make you gated. And the software is $150. So message me on Instagram or comment below on YouTube, and I'll reach out to you about that. And there's super loud noise outside.
They warned us about it. That's why we have noise machines in the room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's part of it? Yeah.
They messaged and said it's a noisy street.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
more
also
questions.
it's also very loud in here. If you guys know what loud means, it smells kind of like weed. And I think I'm getting secondhand high. So we might try and get a refund at this place. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Next page. Do you like selling books?
Love it.
From my sister.
I would not sell books. What's the username?
AD Marie.
AD Marie. I
Yeah.
thought it was adorable something.
No,
Like,
her middle name's Marie. My
Nice.
middle name's Martin. So
Martin.
No, my middle name is
Your last name's
Romer.
Martin.
My last name's Martin.
Do I like selling books? Yeah. I was telling Avery, it's like my zen moment being in a store just scanning books all day. I love it. You never know what you're going to find. It's that thrill of the hunt. Plus, it doubles as CrossFit. It's like exercise. You're carrying 40 to 50 to sometimes 150 pound boxes. Hiwassee. Come on. But you end up with, it's good exercise. Yeah, it gives them muscles. I don't really have that. It's kind of
See,
looking.
that's
but
medium-sized Home Depot boxes, baby.
Body by Home Depot.
Seriously, they should be sponsoring me.
But I enjoy it. It's very zen-like for me, and I feel like being a seller, I understand what the pain points are. We talk about them a lot. We try and figure out, how we're gonna scratch our own itch, make software that solves those problems, and then deliver that to other people.
I will say this: I witnessed Caleb today talking to one of the guys about the deal we were going in on. We're just going in on this bookstore, and we were trying to, we were cherry picking their inventory, and we had like a minimum that we had to reach. But he was talking about how he loves books, and I feel like that's actually a really big part of if you want to get in on any deals, if you want to rub up to people that have a lot of books. They have a lot of books. You got to show care for the books. And like he was talking about how like he likes reading books, and he might take a couple home to read, blah blah blah. And he wasn't lying about it. You could tell he actually meant it.
Michaela's telling me to stop bringing books home because I haven't read them all yet.
And
but
one of my buddies, Larry from Boston, he's in Matt Adolph too. Matt Adolph burning books the other day on Facebook. Both these guys aren't very into books, but both of them probably had a insightful view that's true. And they said if I want to get big in this game, I probably have to be one of those weird book lovers. And Katie reads. If you're watching this, I think that's the main advantage you have right now is you actually really enjoy reading. You're a writer yourself, and this is people's merchandise. This is people's, babies. And you got to realize that it's not just a way for you to make money. And if you actually do have a part of that in your soul that you care about books, even if it's very small, like for me, it's very small. I like reading, self-help books every once in a while. That's
and
it.
if you're curious what books to read too, I think Lorenzo mentioned this, but if you find a book that's got an amazing rank, that's a good indicator that people are buying it. And if a lot of other people are buying it, especially like a nonfiction book, like a self-help, it's probably pretty decent.
Except for Psycho-Cybernetics, which I honestly think
it's in the stack of books you had. You threw it.
I'm going to find it real quick. But I honestly think Psycho-Cybernetics.
I think it's in one of our
It's one of
book
those
stacks.
books that you'll find in the back of a bookstore, and the rank on it's like 1 million, but it's one of the best books ever. Let's find it real quick.
It's a long tail. There it is. I got it.
There it is.
Nailed it.
Right there.
Psycho!
Psycho-Cybernetics. So this is one of those books that isn't super high rank on Amazon for whatever reason. I don't know if it's out of print or what, but there's some books that have a lot of value. And I mean, for me, when I read a book, it's all about what can I get out of it. That's the stage I'm in my life. Maybe it's not the best attitude to have. Maybe I should just enjoy a book, but that book has a lot of value. This book influenced a lot of all the other self-help books with the super high ranks today. They probably read this book when they were younger. So this is important. And it's a 1 million rank. So a lot of people don't read it anymore. I'm not going to give away this book, but I am giving away the E-Myth, which is also
For $10.
a great book. $10, yeah. $10 giveaway. So comment, what I say, hashtag
Hashtag E-Myth.
Hashtag E-Myth.
All right, next question.
All right, let's see.
So yes, I like selling books. My dad used to drop me off in a bookstore and a library as kids. I have a twin brother and a brother a year younger. He'd drop the three of us off at a library, and he'd go to work for the day, and we would just hang out in a random city because he used to travel a little bit and read cartoon books and whatever kids read.
I know what I'm doing with my
great.
kids now. What program did you use to make ScoutIQ? Says something, Tim.
I hired a fantastic developer, and whatever he went with, we used. So it is written in React Native, which is a writes once, read twice. So it's basically the same language, works for iOS and Android, which is nice. There are some limitations, but it's pretty powerful. Airbnb was built on it, Facebook, some other platforms. It's a Java-based
Sweet
deal. That's all I know. Java is coffee to me, not programming.
So I will say this: your likes are, directly cross reference with your comments. So if you guys commented a question, make sure you like the video, because if not, we're not going to see it. So make sure you do that. The next question is, how often do you reprice? By Cooling Cody out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah. I reprice early and often. Actually, I reposition about every other week, give or take. 2 to 3 weeks is kind of the sweet spot. I don't like being the lowest price. I don't want to chase that next sale. There are people with bigger guns than I have, and so if I bring my little gun,
My guns aren't huge, but my guns are ripped. You got to admit
if I
that.
bring a little knife to a gunfight, I think people just left the video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. It went from 52 to 51. Wow. I'm going to stop doing that.
Or we say, if you bring a knife to a gunfight, you're going to lose the battle. Drop to 49.
Oh,
Look at
wow.
this. You're going to lose the battle. And so I don't like to try and play with people that have custom software and are repricing continuously. I like to price. I want to be third or fourth in line, depending on the
What's
E
also
score.
not the worst thing, right? Because if that person's being super aggressive with it,
Look, they'll sell out, and then I'll be next
Yeah.
in line or third in line or whatever.
that's an optimistic
So
way to look at it.
I like to reprice every 2 weeks, let's call it. Mostly because I'm lazy, but that kind of tends to be the sweet spot for me.
I feel like that's like a lot of booksellers just don't think that way. I didn't think that way. I always thought you had to reprice every single hour, and you should reprice every hour from like 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m. too. Like
You certainly can. I'll be the first to admit I'm not an expert when it comes to repricing, but I know that my metrics work, and I know that the numbers work.
Yeah.
Maybe someone out there could blow my mind, and
yeah, that would be.
I'd be open to it.
Yeah.
There's definitely things I don't understand about
We'll invite you to the
repricing.
Turn the Page conference in Atlanta and have you as a speaker.
October 18, 19, 17, 18?
I'm not exactly
It's a
sure.
Thursday, Friday, October 17-ish.
Do you give
Scout question? How much to pay scouts?
thous? Oh, how much do you pay scouts?
You got an option when you hire somebody. We talked about this before. You can pick one end of the spectrum. You can pay them as little as possible, treat them as a commodity,
How much do
understand
you
that they're
give
going to
them?
turn over.
I think is what they said.
How much do we'll get to that.
Okay.
So you can choose to pay them as little as possible, treat them as a commodity, try and find someone else to take their job if they drop out, or you can try and go on the other end of the spectrum and pay them as much as possible. Show them that you value them, you're glad they're on your team. As Avery says, hey, appreciate you. And he means it. You can pick one of those two. You'll be somewhere in between. Scouting goes back to incentives. How are you going to try and incentivize them? Some people want to work by the hour, get paid just by the hour. That's fine. If you understand that, pay them $12-15 an hour. Whatever your market rate is, maybe in the Midwest it's cheaper, maybe in California it's higher. The other way to do it is a per book type commission. Pay them a percentage of the lowest used price. Pay them a percentage of profits as the books sell, whatever it may be. But I've done different options. I like to incentivize people, so if they work harder, they make more money. That's usually not tied to hours then. I'd rather tie it to results. So I like to pay a percentage of whatever they find.
Nice, good stuff. I'm starting to think a lot of you guys are assholes because there's 53 people in here and only 17 likes, and it's hurting my feelings. Anyway, the next question is, how much money did you set aside? I think this is the question.
When I started?
When you started, yeah. I think that's what he's asking. Like when you at the very beginning.
Oh, we got 20 likes. Thanks for the 3 people that followed instructions. Oh, 6 up to 23.
Woo, baby.
Wow, you got power. What else
right.
can you get people to do?
A lot. You'd be surprised.
How much money? We're not going to go there. 24. Thank you. How much money did I set aside? I started this as a side hustle, so I had a day job. I was doing marketing for Johnson & Johnson. It was my college job. I put 26 likes. Wow. Wow, guys, stop listening to Avery. 27. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Don't listen to him.
We're done.
Like that video.
So I had the luxury of having a day job, which meant my life expenses came out of that day job. My wife also had a day job, and so together we decided to start a side hustle and see if this could work. So we didn't set aside much. Some money for a subscription to an app, some money for books. It wasn't a lot. I would say under $500 between everything, and that allowed us to get started. We were able to reinvest as books started to sell. We were able to pour that money back into the business. I'd have to go back and look. I know maybe our cash flow went over that. We did buy a storage unit early, which did cost some money.
I'll say I started with $2,000. I had a $3,000 credit card with 0% interest for a year, and I moved out of my parents' house into my Toyota Corolla, and I headed west. And I'm still alive.
He hasn't died yet.
And I have my own apartment now. So was your situation as far as capital, like, it's probably a lot higher than that, right?
Yeah, I had a great corporate job. My wife was also working, no kids. I'm not amazing with money, but I was pretty good with money. We had squirreled away quite a bit. And so we had a bit of a nest egg, which allowed us. Did you finally watch? It's not The Hustler. What's that? The Gambler. Did you watch The Gambler?
I did watch The Gambler.
So you know what FU money is, where you can basically say, look, I'm fed up, FU, I've got my own money taken care of.
Yeah.
I control my situation, whatever that may be. So we had some FU money, and so we were able to build the side hustle. I didn't quit my job for a year. We waited until that side hustle was trending towards 6 figures in sales, not profits, but enough to kind of replace our expenses, knowing that, okay, we can make this work.
Yeah.
And that allowed us eventually to step away. If you want to step away, you've got to have, know that your revenue's there. You got to know what your expenses are. You got to understand your personal finances. And then try and target to replace the expenses. So I had a 6-figure job. We weren't spending 6 figures a year. So I was making $100+ grand, but we were only spending like 40 or 50. One, that allows you to save a lot. Two, that gives you a much better target, because people go, well, I need to make enough money to quit my job. I need to make more than I'm making in the current job. Well, not really. If money's your only goal, then yes, you do. That should be important. For us, it was freedom.
Yeah.
And the ability to live life on our terms, as Tim Ferriss would say, to be able to go golfing on a Thursday morning and not have to ask my boss for time off. My boss is my wife, so I did. But anyway, so that was more important to us. And if you can replace your expenses by keeping your living costs low, then that actually opens up a lot of doors. So I probably had a couple $100. We bought some storage units early. We were able to pull some other money out of savings. So I don't know the exact number, but it's for certain less than 3 or 4.
What do you mean by some storage units?
We bought a storage unit. There was a guy down the road about an hour that had 2 storage units full of books.
You literally bought.
He had just accumulated. So we bought the storage units.
Pretty good material.
It was all right. We didn't get through it all. We wholesaled it to a guy in Michigan who kind of got grumpy that we sold it to him, but I don't think we misled him. So if you're watching this, apologies. But we made good money off of it, and we wholesaled it. And
if you're watching this guy from Michigan, go ahead and dislike this video real quick.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you're not the guy from Michigan, go ahead and like this video. Let us know. But yeah, that's really cool.
What other questions we got?
We got
rapid fire. Here we go. I think that was it there.
Sean O'Brien.
A lot of Irish people.
Sean O'Brien's always in my YouTube, so I appreciate you. Much love. Minimum profit starting out when building up. I can't even inventory. Yeah, that's right. You got it. I couldn't even remember.
So maybe what minimum profit you should be targeting?
Yeah. So like someone starting out who I guess like a college kid, he's got $500 in his bank account. He wants to start flipping books. What's the minimum profit?
Like payout on the app you should be setting your triggers for?
Minimum profit. So
I don't know.
So he's going to.
I don't know what your question is.
I don't know if he's going to thrift stores. Like, what should he be expecting? Like, because I advocate do free pickups. If I would have known this back in the day, I would have started with free pickups, because going out,
it's free.
You can you get 1,000 books up in your inventory. If you go to a thrift store, that could be between $1,000 and $3,000 in inventory.
And you can get that for free, or basically some time and some gas.
So I guess, all he specified was minimum profit. So you could take that any way you want to.
I'll go the don't sell cheap books route.
Okay.
So a lot of you, it's fine. Don't value your time starting out. That's okay. We call it hustle for a reason. But find a way to work smarter. a lot of people say, yeah, I'll buy a book for $1 if I can make 50 cents on it because, the rank's really good, eScore is really good, I can sell it quickly. Well, 50 cents, by the time you list it, you're not going to sell every book. You're going to sell 80% of your books. The prices might drop on some of them. You're really not going to make any money. And are you valuing your time? Ideally, we'd all be selling $100 books and living in mansions and what's the we all just want to be rock stars song?
Yeah.
That's ideal.
Nickelback.
Yeah, exact. Little throwback. I know a lot of you hate Nickelback.
I like Nickelback.
I like Nickelback. All right, glad we had this talk. So, minimum profit, I think you should raise that a little bit with the caveat that if you have a target profit minimum floor of $1, you're going to find a lot more books than if your minimum floor is $3. So you have to find that sweet spot between winning and, again, it's profit in the bank. So if you're trying to find 100 books a week, that might cause you to reach and scrape the bottom of the barrel and find books that are only going to net you 80 cents or 90 cents because you're trying to hit that target and show off on social media or just hit your mental target. Ideally, you're getting the right profit levels and realizing that I can pass on some of those cheaper books. So I would set that floor price, whatever what you're valuing your time at, $1.50, $2 for the very best of the best, and maybe even raise that up over time.
So Jen Nolan from Facebook asked, and I hope I'm getting this question right because I can barely read my own handwriting, but it says, how often do you check Keepa on books?
Very rarely, because we have eScore. That's a measure of historical velocity or sales volume, so we know it's selling. If eScore is 1 or 2, I know it's sold once or twice in the last 6 months. I'm only checking Keepa then to validate the price because we don't have a way to look at the average price over the last several months. So if something seems off, if it's a head scratcher, I'm one of those guys that looks at my phone when I'm scanning, so I'm looking at the data.
I witnessed that today, and I will say this: I was very surprised that he got more scans than me today, and I've always been like the guy that takes the scanner and I put the phone down on the shelf below. But I guess my time like rearranging the shelves or rearranging the books.
I've got a setup where
he's got it on the back of his phone, and he scanned more books than me, so I'll attest to that. It's good technique.
But you can go faster rapid fire, but I think you're changing. Plus, you're on social media all the time.
Yeah,
so
there's
making
lots of videos.
What was the question?
How
often do I check Keepa? Yeah, so I'm not pulling it up very often. Again, most books I'm buying for $1, $2, $3. So I don't need to pull Keepa and know that it's selling for $15. I know that it's probably going to sell for that.
Yeah.
If I scan a book and it's like $400, I'm like, that's really high, especially if it's a fiction book. I might pull Keepa to see, look, is this selling for $400? Did I find a lottery ticket, or is this selling for $8 normally, and it just happened to go way up because the volume went way down?
Yeah, and I will.
And that again, if it's a $2 book, $1 book, I don't care if I get home and there's a dud or 3 or 4, no big deal. It's not really worth the time to check that in the middle of a sale. I want to just keep moving.
Right. Yeah.
If it's a $10 book. If it's material to you, if it matters, you might want to check that.
And that's the big thing. He said you don't want to check it in the middle of a sale. Why don't you want to check it in the middle of a sale? Because in the middle of a sale, you're going to make a lot of money. It's money. That's time that you could be scanning more books, and pretty soon all the books in the sale are going to be scanned. I think we should look at our lives as that book sale. Like, look at your lives as a book sale. So like how much just during your life. Even if you're out at a thrift store, it's only you at the thrift store. You're the only one there. But if you spend an extra 2 hours there instead, you could have gotten out in 30 minutes if you just would have scanned everything and gotten out. But if instead you check Keepa religiously and you spent 2 hours there, was that really the best way to spend your time? Because what if you would have left, you would have pursued more sources, you would have tried scaling your business different ways. So don't get hung up on Keepa. One of my mentors, he's an interesting guy up in New York. He was like, Avery, he's like, I don't believe in Keepa. He's like, screw that shit. He said, just he doesn't even use apps. He's a crazy guy. But he was just like, just list the shit on Amazon and sell it. And that was his advice. And I was like, okay, well, maybe you skip some like important information in that advice. But like, I get what you're saying. Like, don't
Is it working though?
It's working.
Then can you optimize
it?
Sure.
He's selling $60,000 a month, and he's paying for his family. So he's making a living. But like, it's good advice because like, don't obsess over the details is the point of that. Don't go through these rabbit holes in the Facebook groups and find out, how do I remove this feedback, or should I get more feedback, or this or that, or should I send my first shipment in, or did my inventory check in? Is my, like, oh wait, what happened to this book that Amazon lost? I'm going to spend 2 hours calling Amazon and finding out if they lost my book or not. Like, there's so many different things that people obsess over. And I think the important thing, like Caleb keeps saying, is at the top of the funnel, get more books, put them in there. That's all that matters. Find ways to get more books.
There's certainly time to optimize it, but you should probably spend more time doing it. One real quick pro tip, we'll move on to some other stuff. What makes a pro tip? We love to throw that phrase out there.
I don't know.
Pro tip, hashtag pro tip, is pay yourself an hourly wage. If you think someday like 50 grand is your number, that's $25 an hour if you work 40 hours. Start paying yourself that. Or at least in your mind say, hey, my time is worth $25 an hour. Or if you want to make 100 grand, it's $50 an hour. Basically divide by 2,000 in your head, or just 2. So if your time is worth $50 an hour and you're sitting there in the thrift store going, I'm not really finding that many books, but maybe I'll just keep going. I'll just hustle harder. I hate that mentality. I love Gary Vee, but I hate the mentality of let's just hustle hard. Let's just pour a lot of time into it. Value your time. Sure, learn stuff, figure it out as you go. But if you just pour yourself aimlessly and you're just running into the wall and banging your head against the wall, yeah, you might get through it eventually, but you're going to have a sore noggin. Okay? Value your time. Pay yourself an hourly wage, and that'll help you make better decisions. If I was paying somebody else, not me, $50 an hour, would I have them do this task? Right. If the answer is no, that's not the most useful or valuable use of your time. You should be looking at other
Right.
things.
And I think this is a valuable thing for anyone early on is hire someone prematurely, because if you hire someone prematurely, whether it's a virtual assistant, which is what I recommend, start out with a virtual assistant, but even a lister, when you start paying someone else to do something, in that time that they're doing it, they're over listing your books, and now you don't have anything to do. You're gonna find things to do that are more valuable than that, because you can make more money going outsourcing, finding more leads, whatever it is, like building your website, whatever it is, you're gonna find a lot more value in that per hour than them. Like, I felt very guilty the first time I hired someone. I just felt like she was in my basement at my mom's house, or not basement, but garage.
What was she doing in your mom's basement?
Oh. She was working at my mom's.
She just showed up in the basement.
I lived at my parents' house, and she was working in the garage, and I just felt bad. I felt bad about myself, not her. I didn't feel bad about her listening to books, whatever, you can listen to books. But I was like upstairs, and I was, on my phone, and I was like, I'm not making money right now. I gotta go on not Instagram. Instagram does make me money, but in a different way. But I gotta go on Seller Central. I gotta go make emails to library. I gotta do all these things I know I should be doing. So I was upstairs just like, working, because in my mind I knew she was working. Now it's a little bit different. Sometimes she works, I don't know she works, because she works at home now, which is kind of nice because I'm not always obsessing over it. But the moment you start paying someone to do something that's an integral part of your business, whether it's sourcing, a lot of people, I think Eddie out of New York, he delegated sourcing before listing. He's getting people to go run routes for him and pick up books. He's back at his storage unit or back at his crib, he's listing the books up. But regardless, he's doing something while they're doing something. So as long as what you're doing is, valuable, it's got to be more valuable than what you delegated.
You should be doing the most valuable things in your business. You should be the linchpin, as Seth
only
says.
Do what only you can do.
Yeah.
I used to credit that to Greg Murphy, but then I looked it up. It was someone else, but I can't remember their name right now. But only do what only you can do. That's it's a simple thing to say, but to actually implement it, it's very powerful.
Yeah. So just real quick, we've already beat it to death, but pay yourself an hourly wage, or at least say that, and then think through the tasks in your day. You can't outsource brushing your teeth, things like that. But, am I going to go to the store and scan books all day? Or is that something I can outsource? Am I going to list my books all day and my time's worth $50 an hour? Can I pay someone less than that and go focus on other things that add more value to the business to set that bar higher?
Right.
Cool.
We asked this question on Instagram Live, and I'm actually really interested in the answer. But it's how many, because you didn't answer it in full because Reezy was spazzing out on Instagram Live. He was crazy sometimes. How many hours did you work your first few years scouting? So when you first went into it?
When I first went into it, we did the 100 book challenge. My wife and I, we started with that. So it was nights and weekends. I worked 40-hour job. I traveled for work. Cool part with traveling is I got to go hit up other towns, go to their thrift stores. Worked out a deal where I bought beers for the truck driver for our company, and I would load up books into their semi-truck, and they would ship them back to my hometown. I could take them there and list them back home, which was pretty cool. So I was Romer the Roamer before he existed, which is pretty cool.
He influenced me to do what I do.
Traveling's great. For me, it's flexibility. So I was working nights and weekends. I was trying to work it into to work as much as possible. I had a little bit of flexibility. One of my managers, we would go to library sales together, so we would like skip out of work a little bit early and work from home / go to a library sale at 2 p.m. So we'd do that a little bit, which was fun. But it was mostly nights and weekends, probably 10 to 15 hours, part-time hustle. And you go, yeah, but I already work 40 hours, plus I fight traffic, plus I got this, I got other commitments, I'm involved in sports or music or something. Yeah, but how much time are you watching sports? How much time are you watching Netflix? How much time are you sitting at home watching these videos at night? Well, this is great. This is information. This is cool. You can find time to do that. So do it on the side. And then once I quit my job, moved out to Colorado, had a part-time job working in medical sales, part-time job, but then allowed me to free up and source. My wife and I would go out. We'd try and source about a day and a half to 2 days. We'd try and source. We'd spend some time at home, and then we were also building Eflip, our blog, kind of doing some of the online stuff as well. But for the book business itself, we were probably putting 20 to 25 hours sourcing, maybe 10 to 15 listing, and then other time, of course. Working for yourself, I've heard it said an entrepreneur is someone who will work 60 hours for themselves to avoid working 40 hours for somebody else. That's entirely true. I was talking to Matt Adolph the other day. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting sick of these 60-hour weeks. He's like, 60? That's it? 60 is a good week, man.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say this.
Yeah, the hours, they do matter. You want to make sure that you're getting a good return on your investment, a good return on your time. But I'd rather work. I don't feel like I'm working for myself. Today was a dud, and it didn't get me that much down. It's cool. There's other books out there. We're gonna go find a better day tomorrow.
Yeah. I will say this also. I'm going to give a plug to the eMyth again. And a big point, and also comment hashtag the eMyth for a chance to win this. I don't know how I'm going to choose a winner. I think I'm going to count how many people commented hashtag eMyth, not the eMyth. And I'm going to randomly select a number via random selection on Google. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
You have like random selection.
Yeah, you can just say random between 1 and whatever.
1 and 12, yeah. So I'm going to do that for this book. But a big part of this book was about what he was just talking about. And I'm actually almost playing devil's advocate here / like countering his point. An entrepreneur is someone who's going to work 60 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours for someone else.
It doesn't feel like work, though.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't, but at some point, according to this book, and I've personally witnessed this, and listing was a big thing for me. My listers enjoy listing. They actually really like it. I didn't. I hated it. I hate listing. I hate listing. That's why I don't list anymore. But I always felt like I was wasting time when I was doing it. But this book talks about being the technician. And I like to look more like, because millennials, I know a lot of 35-year-olds millennials.
It's like right in that cutoff. I'm 31 and I'm still a millennial.
Regardless, a lot of millennials.
Older,
I like to actually disassociate myself with that generation because I'm kind of embarrassed by it. But
they're actually going 2 different directions now.
Are they?
There's millennials, which are focused on themselves. They're living in mom and dad's basement. Everything's about themselves. Self-aggrandizing, however you say that word. Prideful. It's about me, and they're focused on that. And then I just saw this. It was at someone was telling me about this conference. Millennials, that's kind of one. And then the other fork of the road is the ones that are actually going off extra millennial. I don't know. There's some other term that was kind of like that.
What are they
but
trying
they're
to do?
the ones that are
actually,
they're trying to change the world for the better. They're leveraging technology. They're willing to make sacrifice themselves, and they're willing to just do what it takes and move ahead in the world. And they're actually moving up the corporate ladder, doing great things in the entrepreneurial world. And they're bifurcating. They're going 2 different forks rather than the millennials that get the bad rap.
I'd rather associate myself with the second one of those.
Yep.
But I like to disassociate myself with the millennial generation and consider myself Generation Z because that one's not fully developed yet. But regardless, there's this idea of following your passion, doing what you love, and what's inevitably going to happen. And it's interesting that this is a reselling audience listening to this, but what's inevitably going to happen when you follow your passion is at some point you're not going to want to wake up and go to work. So my passion was wrestling. So if I was going to go to work every single day, eventually at some point I'm going to have trouble paying for my groceries. I'm going to have trouble, providing for my family. I want to have 5 kids. And in order to pay for 5 kids, I think it takes $1 million to raise a kid, I've heard. Is that true? How much does Elliot cost you so far?
Well, we'll see. A lot of diapers, a lot of food.
Yeah, so it's going to cost a lot of money. And I was going to go into physical therapy before going into flipping books. But wrestling was my passion. So if I was going to take the millennial approach, which I never truly considered, but it would be to follow wrestling. Either be a collegiate wrestling coach, which I wasn't really good enough in college to be a collegiate wrestling coach, but I could be a pretty good high school wrestling coach or middle school or elementary school, whatever. I could have done that, but the problem with that is, and even more so if I was going to become a practitioner, a health practitioner, I was going to be a physical therapist, I was going to now, my demand, my profit, this is my profit now, I flip books. My profit was going to be someone's loss. My profit was going to, not wrestling, but for physical therapy. The more people that would come to me injured is the more people that I would, help. And my brain would start thinking, just like it is now, how do I make more profit? And it would be, how can I get these people in here more often? And I would want to extend the amount of time because I knew I would start my own business. And if I started my own physical therapy business, I'd be like, how can I get these people in here every single week? I need to convince them to come. I'd be like a fucking chiropractor. They try to get you in every single week when they don't need you in there. And that really scared me. And to tie it back in with your passion, which mine was wrestling, it's like, okay, there's going to be days I don't want to go. And I never wanted my money tied with my passion. I wanted to wrestle. And I guess salsa dancing is becoming one of my passions. I don't think I'm good enough at salsa dancing to consider it a passion yet. But that's one of my future passions. Let me just put it that way. And I never wanted that to be tied with money. And by doing things like flipping books, selling on Amazon, this gives us the luxury of FU money. Being able to say, fuck you, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to be at wrestling practice. I don't have to be salsa dancing. I don't have to be doing any of this. I'm here because I love you, because I want to do it. And that's much more beautiful to me than the classic millennial, do what you love, go to work. If you do your passion every single day, you're never going to work a day in your life. Yeah, bullshit. Sorry, I think it's bullshit.
There's days I hate working. There's days I don't want to show up. Absolutely.
Exactly. And I just think to think that way is you're going to cause your passion to be your hell. And I think that's true. I don't know if you believe in objective truths or not. We could get into that. But I think it's true that people. It's like the whole idea of a utopian society. Like you can make fun of utopian societies, but being able to have freedom to actually do what you want. And once you have FU money, you do have you create a utopian society for yourself. Now, if you're depressed, you probably have a low self-esteem and you hate yourself. But if you basically have the opportunity to do whatever you want in life. So there's no excuses. You can't blame it on money. You probably still blame it on your relationships and all that. You're going to have a plethora of other shit to blame it on, but you can't blame it on money anymore, which is what a lot of people blame their whole lives on. You okay?
Yeah, caught the edge of the couch.
Anyway, we went down a rabbit hole.
I think that's it on those questions.
Let's see. We got. Okay, this is interesting. We're getting Larry from Facebook again. Says not Larry O'Connor. This is different Larry. He says Red Bull, Monster, Bang, or water.
I don't even know what Bang is. That energy drink.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had Bang.
Where we eats in a bunk? Like ask the waiter, "Are you bunk?" No, that's not a real name. My name's Eugene. Come on. Water. I'm not an energy drink guy. Matthew, my business partner, does. I drink coffee. Love coffee. Can't get enough. Water is probably number 2. Beer. That's it. I haven't had a Red Bull or Monster or Bang, whatever that is.
We done with all the beers yet?
There's one more, I think.
Okay. I'm going to crack that open in a second.
Okay.
Andrew Gong says...
The Gong Show.
Says, how much do you recommend...
$1.
Okay. Next question.
What do you ask?
How much do you recommend to dedicate to Eflip before making it a monthly thing? So that's the first question.
How much money do you want to have before you
He said
can
how
jump in.
much do you recommend having to dedicate? He didn't specify money.
Yeah. So one
money or
thing
time.
we don't recommend Eflip for brand new sellers, because one, we're going to take $79 a month because we have to maintain the database. It feels like cheating. There's really good data in there. You can find books to buy merchant fulfilled, sell FBA. You can do it in season, out of season, etc. So you have to have some capital to play with. If you're trying to learn Amazon and you haven't made your mistakes yet, you haven't figured out how to get the buy box, you haven't figured out everything else, probably should make those mistakes at thrift store with dollar books and $2 books instead of $10 books or $20 books. After that, it really depends. What are your goals? What are you trying to make? Are you trying to make $1,000 a month? Maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month would be adequate for that. Are you trying to make $10,000 a month and be all your living expenses? There's a free paperclip in there. Maybe you need $30,000 or $40,000 a month to kind of have access to that. It really depends on your goals, what your turn rates are going to be, etc. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you have at least $500 a month that you can be buying. Ideally, you have closer to $1,000 that you're able to invest. And don't put on credit cards, otherwise you'll end up like Avery living out of his car.
Do you flip books every month on Eflip?
I don't use Eflip every single month. I love to stock up in the summer and about 2 months before January, so that puts me October, November-ish.
Just answer his last question.
But,
What months do you source the most? And
I-
why is that? Why do you
Prices are low, plus you get their fastest return on your cash. There's a lot of books you can flip, and I certainly look for deals here and there where you can buy a book that's cheap or mispriced and then resell it at a normal price. Textbooks, though, if that's your game, and that's really where the most of the money can be had, you should be buying when the prices are the lowest, which is actually 2 times of the year. One is the summer. The other is right after textbook season. So we're right in the middle of textbook season. Prices are going to peak. Demand is kind of peaking right now this week and next. And then mid-September, you're actually going to see the prices on some books go through the roof. Other books, it's going to come through the floor. That's the opposite, I guess. And because the demand wasn't there and there's enough supply side that Rent-U comes on and just tanks the listing. I hate it when you're on the listing. It's the worst.
Rent-U is actually me. That's actually my
that
seller
explains
account.
a lot,
Yeah,
actually.
so.
But if you see Rent-U, it's actually a great opportunity to buy up a lot of their inventory because they're usually dumping rentals. That's what they're liquidating their rental inventory because they're moving on to the next edition. It doesn't mean that book's going to die, but it means it died for that season because they usually kill it. You're not supposed to buy Prime to resell or use Prime benefits. You can use a business account. You can buy Prime offers still. Just don't use the free Prime shipping. So I love to buy when the prices tank, usually right after textbook season and then in the summer.
Nice. Well, shout out to him real quick, thebookflipper.com. It's got tons of content on there. The Book Flipper community, if you guys aren't in that yet.
10,000 members about a week ago. We just hit
Hell
it.
yeah. Go check it out. ScoutIQ, if you guys aren't on that software, just go ahead and leave this chat. I'm just kidding. He's got lots of good things going on. Also, his Instagram, if you want to see some exclusive golfing
Mostly
footage.
just golfing footage.
And baby photos. Girls, which is like 9 people probably out of my 2,000 subscribers.
It's a very male-dominated industry.
It's crazy. 91% of my audience on here is
it
between
really?
25 and 35, all male.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not 25 yet. I'm Generation Z.
Z.
I'm not with the millennials.
Generation Z.
All right. Also, if you guys haven't check out the 10x listing method, and more importantly, if you guys check that out, you'll get on my email list. So I write exclusive content that it breaks down how to get backroom access. It breaks down how to start selling books. A lot of different things like that. So make sure all that's going to be in the description below. It might already be in the description below, but don't leave this live video yet. If you guys are watching this in the year 2023, shout out to you guys. We really appreciate you. I'd like to think way in the future because there's always someone. If you're watching this in 2023, comment below. I'd be like, yo, dude, I'm watching this in 2023, so I can get that notification on my phone.
Just bring your time machine and come back to live and come hang out and grab a beer with us. That'd be great. Because
the 60 people watching this, we value you guys, but in reality, you guys are like
a few more questions.
2%. All right, so we got from Felix. Can you add CDs to outliers on Eflip?
Once we add CDs to ScoutIQ in the database, yes.
Okay. When is he going to?
Oh, I love it. Develop Google Glasses.
Google Glasses
for scanning.
Yeah, and
that would be awesome.
free.
Google Glass did remake what they had. The first implementation was not all that great. They are working on a remake. That would be sweet. Step 1, smartwatch. Scan with just your scanner, smartwatch. That would be cool. Stealth mode. Step 2, Google Glass. Read the covers, barcodes, whatever you throw in front of it. Stealth mode. No scanners allowed. No problem. Put on my big, sexy Google glasses. Off we go.
That'd be legit.
That would be cool. No idea if we can actually roll that out, but that would be cool.
How do you do A is a question. I don't know what that means.
I do A all the time. I don't even know what that is.
Repricing is confusing.
Yes, it is.
How many times a day?
0 times a day, once every week, or once every other week.
Yeah.
We already talked about that earlier.
Lori said that. So we got from Robin Soliday. I love that name.
Robin.
There are several bookstores or book sales
Stores in my area.
Central Florida. I want to say
Orlando.
I want to see about getting Gaylords from Goodwill. Is it a bad idea because it would be picked over?
Not necessarily. If you can get straight donated material, it's going to be good. The problem with Gaylords is it costs a lot of money, takes time to get through it. Benefit is they show up at your door. Maybe you can monetize the duds, get rid of, figure that out. Bulk may not be the answer for everybody. It's going to be a lot of work, take some capital, take some space. If you're in Florida and space is cheaper, have at it. Try it. Again, like anything else, try it, except for drugs. Give it a shot, see if it works, and if it does, scale it up. If it doesn't, scale it back.
Last question is from Dalton. He says, "Is your golf game as strong as your book game?"
Golf game is not there yet. Golf game is improving. We asked this tonight. What is my golf game at its peak, or is there room to grow? There's still room to grow. I'm a 7 handicap right now. I would love to get that down to 2 or 3. Ideally 0, but that's probably unlikely. I want to get that back down. It's the best it's ever been. My book game is the best it's ever been, so it's a good time to be the book flipper, I guess.
Nice. We're gonna plug this mic back in and get into
Cool.
YouTube Q&A. Yeah.
Boom.
So go ahead and take that. It's all yours.
Testing.
And if you do P's on that, it goes silent.
Sorry, everybody, that I just blew your eardrums out. Okay, we're going to get to some questions. If you have them, comment below or above or sideways or wherever else. Ready, go.
All you assholes that haven't liked this video yet, go ahead and
Like the video.
All right, so, because I get nothing, blah, blah, blah. Let's see for actual questions.
Cheers.
Great job.
Cheers.
Great job on the haul in Philly. So you got some nice books. I can't afford to go out. I got homework, says Michael Cadis.
Michael, come hang out.
Michael Cadis was in.
We'll buy your beers.
Michael Cadis was in Chicago.
If you're old enough to drink. We don't support underage drinking.
I think he's got a pretty gnarly beat.
It is Saturday too, guys. Sorry. We mentioned Friday earlier. We are tripping. We're not tripping. We just didn't know what day of the week it is.
Michael Cadis, I can't grow a beard. Caleb can grow a beard. I can't grow a beard. I'm really
It's in there a little
self-conscious
bit.
about it. So don't comment that. What kind of sales does the book flipper do during textbook season? Ooh.
Really good sales. It's a great time to be. It's a great time to be selling books. Textbook season. I don't share my numbers. I guess someone saw them tonight, but I don't really care. We run a couple accounts. We try and spread our risk. We help a lot of people now. We're in the software game as well, but we still do sell a lot of books. I was in Boston and Chicago last week buying more textbooks because there's lots of good books out here. So traveling for me, it's flexibility, it's freedom. If I shared my numbers and they were really impressive, you'd think I was bragging. If they weren't very impressive, you'd think, what is this guy doing? So I don't know. We're happy with our sales. It supports our family. And I'm glad I get to do what I do.
That's a big thing for me is like just as long as people.
You talked about this actually.
Well,
but go ahead.
I just think as long as someone is, if someone's surviving off of their hustle, I really respect them.
You talked about this though too, as far as like numbers.
I think
like people are very personal about numbers. Like some people would rather talk about like their sex life than their financial life.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk about either, but. Yeah, so there's like some people are comfortable with it. You said, "Hey, I love it if someone shows me their numbers because I know then that they're legitimate. If they're driving a Lamborghini, if they have a Tesla, if they have whatever your luxury item is, you know that they're legitimate, or they don't. Maybe they have a big credit card debt, but you know they're legit. You know you should pay attention because they're doing something right. I get that. I like that.
Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's personal. Like my money is my money. You don't walk up to someone and go, "Hey, How much money do you make every year? Like what's your salary?
Yeah,
that's not a question.
I get it. Ty Lopez says like the key to happiness is, or if you want to have a balanced life, you got to have health, wealth, love, and happiness. And I've also noticed the same thing when it comes to Instagram posts. Is look at what people post about. They post about health. They post about their fitness updates. They don't really post about wealth too much because it's one of those like topics like we're talking about right now. It's uncomfortable.
We try and flex, right? We show pictures
yeah.
of big hauls, big book hauls, and big stacks, and that's intrinsically money to us.
Yeah, and I guess like nice clothing would be the wealth aspect. Love is a pretty big one on Facebook and Instagram. People post like their family, Elliot, like that's love, and that's it's an important thing. It's honorable. Nobody's I guess there's some people probably like mad about it. Sure. Someone's mad about, something. And then happiness, which is, golfing for you or like salsa for me. So those are the 4 things we post about. I don't know if anyone matters more than the other. I think love is the most important. I will say that. Love is the most important. So health, wealth, love, and happiness. And love to me is family. But it really makes me mad when people value money over everything else. And I think when you are scared to talk about money, I'm not calling you out, but I mean, like this is like a cultural thing. A lot of people don't talk about money. I think it's you're kind of putting it above everything else. So that's just me. And I know a lot of people are like that. A lot of my friends probably hate me for like a lot of my friends think I'm rich because I post my Amazon sales
each month. $20,000 months, right?
Yeah, they probably think I'm like
think
loaded.
That's $20,000 in your pocket. It's not
exactly. But even if it was $20,000 in my pocket, why does it make a difference? I'm still a human. I still
have emotion. Are you able to do what you want to do? Can you take care of your needs? Can you take care of your family?
Yeah.
If you can, great. More money is not more happiness. More money is just more money.
It's just more.
Money is a resource.
Yeah. Tony Robbins, it's just more. If you're a greedy asshole, you're going to be an even greedier asshole when you get money.
You'll never have enough.
If you're generous, you're going to be even more generous. Like, so money's just more.
Yep.
But
100%.
Anyway.
All that said, we do 6 figures in the month of August.
Impressive.
Probably multiple 6 figures.
I do 7 figures, so you obviously follow me. I'm just kidding. I'm at like 37 this month, but 500,000 this year. It's a sales goal. How much sales does the book? Okay,
we just did that one.
Let's see. I'm reading it again. How was the library haul?
Yeah, library haul was not so great. Brian Stout helped us land the deal. He knew the bookstore owner. It's a guy that ran a bookstore for 16 years in this location. It used to be a film area. It was pretty cool building. A lot of books. Nothing against Brian. It was awesome. He did a great job handling and helping us negotiate last minute. It was advertised as 300,000 books. I'm thinking there was probably 50 to 60,000 books.
We got
based
about
on
7,500 scans on the high end, and we probably scanned about 15%. So that's between
15-20% of the books. Yeah, give or
if you
take.
divide that, if you divide 7,500 by 0.15, it's going to be like
30,
50,
45, 50,000 books, give or take.
50 to 70, and it wasn't there.
So we didn't do nearly as well as we wanted. We ended up having to probably overpay a little bit for the books, but we're trying to help a guy before he closes his business and sells it out.
Yeah.
So we got I think a little over 250 books. Not amazing. We'll be trying to salvage the rest of the week from here because we were going to be spending the whole week at a bookstore with 300,000 books.
Yeah.
And now we get to spend it with 60 of our closest friends on YouTube Live.
It'll be interesting the next couple of days. I went ahead and posted a Craigslist ad and a Facebook Marketplace ad.
We'll see what shakes out.
Yeah, we'll see. And we're getting creative. We got a little community on here, so we'll see what happens. Regardless, good time spending time with the book flipper, my mentor. I'm probably getting more out of this than he is.
Goes both ways, my friend.
Tell us about. We just went ahead. We went over that.
What's going on?
What's going on? I don't know what's going on,
no,
dude.
No clue. We don't even know what day it is.
I'm freaking jealous. I've been to Philadelphia. Yep.
Come on to Philadelphia. We're
Pretty
going to
dope
go climb
here.
the steps like Rocky. We're going to go steal the Liberty Bell.
Book Bendetto says duds are good on OfferUp. Yeah, I do want to go check out that
OfferUp?
art museum.
Nice.
But yeah, I've heard that multiple times.
Are you selling them as lots?
I think they are. I think I've heard that.
Tell us more.
Yeah, go ahead and comment if you're still in
it's
your book or anyone who is selling books on OfferUp. That's very interesting hustle, and I like that. I like the garage sale guy too.
Well, one of the best hustles I've been hearing is kind of the Hemo hustle. So Hector Mora and Eddie, what's his last name? Hello Kitty
Hello
dealer.
Kitty.
Eddie Cuello, I think. Cuello. Do the free book hustle. Do free book pickups, trash removal. People will give you the books. There's
If you
certainly
guys-
going to be some good books you can resell, but then you're going to end up with a lot of duds that if you can find a way to monetize, good on you. Offer up, do a
Yeah.
garage sale, trade them into a local store, whatever it may be.
I plugged this YouTube video quite a bit, but go check out my YouTube video. It's an older version of me. It's the old, what is it called? The face technology that like changed the face app that
Oh,
it
yeah,
changed.
makes you
it's-
look old,
Yeah, so
steals your
I look
identity.
like Bill Clinton in the thumbnail, but it's called How to Get Free Books. That's the only that's the title, and it's with Matt Adolph. And we talked for like an hour in Chicago about getting free books. But a lot of people resonated really well with that, and I probably had about 20 DMs and like just people sending me pictures of getting free books, and that's when I was like, oh shit, this is real. Like I was already kind of doing it, but I wasn't doing it to the level that Matt was doing it, and
Well,
then
again,
a lot of
go
you
to-
guys implemented it.
Go to
so.
thrift stores and you're competing with the bookstore that might be selling online or other anybody with a smartphone. You create an ad, you create the marketplace, that opens the door. And Michael Minnick in Colorado, great dude. He's been
Yeah.
by our office.
He's a hustler.
He's a hustler. He's got a sweet van, not a creepy van, a sweet van, and he's doing the free book hustle as well. So it's a really
Yeah.
good way in your market to kind of block out your competition before the books end up going to Goodwill. You get them, and now if you can get smart about how to monetize it, good on you.
The Money Badger, who is up in Connecticut right now, he's got like 4 kids. maybe
Shouldn't they
5
be in Wisconsin as a Badger?
You probably should be in Wisconsin, dude. Go to Wisconsin, bro. But he's from Tennessee. He drove all the way up here. He was in Philly recently, but he's asking when is the Turn the Page conference?
Next Turn the Page conference, TTP, is going to be October, I want to say 17. It's going to be a Friday. We'll do a social event the Thursday. So whatever, October 17, 18, 16, somewhere in there. The Friday will be the event. You can go to bit.ly, bit.ly /TTP Atlanta, all lowercase, no space. bit.ly /TTP Atlanta. And that'll let you go grab a ticket. We're going to be doing a VIP package.
That's
We don't
my reminder to put that in the bio.
do it. A permanent marker on your arm. That's
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
That's how you do it. Right?
Love
That's
it.
how you remind yourself. That's
Pro
commitment,
tip,
y'all.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Join us in Atlanta, Hotlanta, as the locals call it, and we'll get some golf in. We'll get some hanging out and learn from some great speakers, including Avery. I think Rob Knight will be there, if that's cool.
Rob Knight.
We'll figure that out.
We're having a
We'll
me and Rob Knight are having a boxing match. Rob Knight, if you're watching this.
Rumble.
Yep, we're getting after it.
We'll have some good speakers in the house. Reezy's been at several of them.
Yeah.
David Chung. It'll be great.
It'll be good. And I'm not
Other
just,
questions?
I don't say this just to promote TTP. I paid $600 so far to go, and I've only
That's 3 events, though,
I've
not
spoken.
one. You spoke in one now.
I spoke at
You've been
one.
Paid to speak.
Yeah, I was paid to speak.
You're a
So
professional speaker.
and I didn't make much. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not like this isn't even like a money plug at all. But this has been the biggest thing for my business. Like, and that's actually like I'm 100% like that's real right there. So anyone out there that's willing to take action, like, make sure you show up to this event. If you're like a go-getter, if you're young, and I have faith.
Or old.
I have faith in 40-year-olds, but I have more faith in younger 20s. Like, I don't know.
Such a generation
yeah,
Z.
well, maybe I'm a Gen Z, but it's just like, I don't know. It's people learn more unless you go through trauma when you're older. That's what they say. When you go through trauma, that's when you're willing to learn. So anyone going through trauma, slide through.
TTP, baby. Trauma and pages.
Michael Cato says, second and Charles, I send my duds there for store credit.
Yep.
I got $9 for used books. Yep.
We buy toys or other books with it.
Good stuff. Use Declutter app to sell back your books.
It's another option. That's
What is
heard
that?
of more of that for like CDs, but I guess Declutter. It's kind of like a book scouter. They'll give you cash or
Interesting.
sell back your book, something like that.
Someone says send a box of like 20 to 30 books for $25 on a box I bought for $5. I'm not.
Basically, bought $5, probably make $25. Yep, that's book margins for you, 500%.
Nice. Do you guys have the same triggers as Jim?
No, Jim uses an inferior app, so we use different triggers. They're built by me, built for books, real booksellers.
Yeah, big boy.
By booksellers, for booksellers.
That's right.
There you go.
If you're a big boy bookseller, use ScoutIQ. If not, I mean, it's okay to use Scoutly. We're not going to judge you.
I'll judge you.
He'll probably judge you. His bank account will judge you.
Yeah, my golf game will judge you.
But seriously, Caleb's a super smart guy. If you guys haven't figured out yet, and he's gonna come out with the best stuff first. That's a fact, and he probably already has better back end programming. And that's just me saying that, and I think that's true, and that's why I use it. I also use it just because I like Caleb, but
Represent.
Those
They're
things
probably
are real.
similar, but they're built. Actually, a guy we had dinner with tonight that helped us, John, was helping us out. Side Hustle Experiment on the IG Instagram was saying he was using both and switched to ScoutIQ because he was Scoutly's base triggers or whatever they come out of the box were leaving a lot of long tail books behind. So he was actually losing out on a lot of money by not using us. So you were kind of teasing me. We were talking about premiums. Why would someone pay a little bit more
for like Supreme brand,
for a better app,
luxury
right?
brands?
Well, because you're not going to leave as much money behind.
Yeah.
And John even said he can tell when he's been to a store that someone else has been through with Scoutly because there's still money left on the shelves.
Right.
So that's a testament to what we do. We understand the industry. We're involved in it. And we make tools that scratch our itch and solve yours.
Bleak YT says, what's a good reprice that's not too expensive? We kind of went over that. We said reprice
It's probably the best budget friendly out there. It's not as customizable maybe, but it does get the job done. Make sure you know what it's doing before you turn it on or you can get in trouble.
Balta Leon says, I'm a hot mess.
Sweet. Thanks for watching.
I lost my merchant fulfilled privileges last year. What's the best way to get them back? Am I doomed?
Are you doomed?
What does that mean? Have you
You
heard
lost
that
your
before?
merchant fulfill, but not other privileges? I don't know what you did. Undo it if you can.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know. We'd have to know more of the story.
I never heard. Have you heard of that?
No, I've heard of people losing their Amazon accounts, but not merchant fulfill privileges.
Why does it, merchant fulfilled privileges don't matter?
Maybe
Just
they
do
didn't.
FBA.
I don't know.
If you're like us.
More context. We can help
Yeah.
answer that with more context.
Larry Engel, who's asked a couple
Larry
questions.
D. Engel.
He says, you are on spot tonight. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Spot on. On
Cojones
spot.
says Jordan Flax. I'm assuming the H.
That was based on the balls comment, probably.
Okay, what does that mean? Cojones? Oh, yeah.
Cojones?
Okay, I got
Yeah.
it now.
Chutzpah.
Took me a second.
Courage.
Um,
Fortitude.
You got a quick brain, man. You went back there quick. I was like still thinking. Reprice it for a test run. Didn't care for it working metrics. Do my own through manual metrics
Love
by
it.
Accelerlist. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but if you can build it yourself, at least you understand
Brad
what
is
it
in here.
can or can't do.
I don't know if this is
Which Brad?
Brad Speckman.
The Speckman.
He says, triggers and reprice it settings, please. I mean, we've kind of gone over this.
Yeah, use the stock triggers. There's a lot of research, a lot of science that went into that. You can change the target profit based on your own criteria, but as far as the ranges and e-score and which offer to pick, there's a lot of science that went into that. Leave it alone unless there's a reason to change it based on your specific scenarios.
You want to grab this real quick? I
Yeah.
gotta take a pee. So we're on Bolton.
Can we pause
Yeah.
this?
We can't. We can't
I gotta
pause
take a
it.
pee too.
You want?
I'll answer some questions.
We'll alternate, and then
All right.
I'll come back.
How do I get database mode? I want to liquidate eBay stuff and dive into books. What's the bare minimum I can get away with to start? You can change your subscription anytime through our web portal, app.scoutiq.co. Avery, close the door. You can get database mode that way. New to the game, what's the best way to start? Jump on in, get your Amazon account started first of all. Spend some time doing that. It does take a little bit to verify your identity. Once you do that, you're going to be off and running. Books are a great place to start. They're an ungated category for the most part. Most people can start off with books, and that works out fairly well. So do that. Yo, says Matthew Weaver. Hi.
Okay. So
Okay.
you want to take a little
Pause.
bathroom break?
I'll be back after
And
the
we'll
short
say
commercial
this.
break.
The book flipper was talking about how books are mainly ungated. But if you're not ungated in all textbooks, send them my way. We're actually trying to build this business up pretty big. We're putting systems in place to never get restricted and to make sure that we can sell your restricted inventory at a 50-50 split. So I'll sell your restricted inventory. That's DVDs, CDs, textbooks, whatever. You guys know the drill. The instructions are linked below. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and answer / read a couple of these comments right here, and then once the book flipper comes back, I'll pass it off to him. So Dave Sports Quest says, new to the game, what's the best way to start? So I made a whole video on this, but I think the best way to start is if you're really trying to get into books, download ScoutIQ. And I say that because you want to be able to make quick decisions. You want to be able to say, yes, no, is this a good book to sell on Amazon? Is it not? And as long as you don't even have to set up your triggers right. Just go to the store, turn the buy cost on $1 or $2, and scan every single thrift store, every single library in your area, post on Facebook Marketplace, post on Craigslist, and say, hey, look, we will come pick up your books for free. Whatever it is, get books in your hand. I have probably have 100 videos on this. But go check it out and get after it. Like literally, you could probably just listen to what I just said there and start making money. There's colleges you could go to. Like there's 1,000 ways you could go with this business, and you can't go every direction at once. You just have to choose one. So that's that. Matthew Weaver says, yo, how do you deal with a repricer and textbooks? Do you reprice separately? With textbooks, you can put a TXT template.
What else we got?
He says, how do you deal with a repricer in textbooks? Do you reprice separately?
I do reprice separately. You do not want to be repricing aggressively in the off season on textbooks, so you want to be able to protect against that. Use a prefix. If you use reprice it or something else, make sure you can identify those specifically. So when you list the books, either with the listing spreadsheet, Accelerlist, Inventory Lab, Scan Lister, etc., that's a good option for you, is to put a prefix like textbook or TXTBK, for example.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So loose leaf textbooks picked up 2. One is chintzy plastic presentation folder. The other is broken up into 2 random binders. How should I ship them to FBA? Well, Amazon.
Hey, shrink wrap machine. Did you send me it?
It's in my car.
I didn't see it show up yet. We got 100 boxes in our garage, and Michaela's like, "Did you see the shrink wrap machine yet?" I'm like, I don't think
so. If you guys are
so.
watching this, I have 5 book giveaways that I've done for people, and I've shipped none of the orders just because I've been so busy lately. And I will ship them.
You know what? I hate the busy excuse. I'm so busy.
And then
that's like a way to exactly. And then we're doing a YouTube live, right?
Yeah.
Busy is a lame excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I use it a lot. I'm so busy. I was feeling the stress about 2 weeks ago. I was getting ready to leave. Yeah, it's priorities. That's it. And I wish people would just say that.
Yeah.
I'm so busy. No, you're just not my priority.
Yeah. No, but my car space is really my priority.
So ship me that machine. That'd be great.
It's behind my car seat right now.
Loose leaf, ship them out. You can either take it out of the notebook, out of the binder, and wrap it in saran wrap. Loose leaf is tough because you could be missing a page or two, but look, students aren't reading the book anyway. They're just buying it because they have to have it for the course. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Or you can leave it in the binder, either one. If you have 2 binders together, saran wrap them together, put a label on it that says, do not separate, sold as a set.
Yep.
More questions.
4-Eyed Hustler says, goats. Appreciate that.
Goats?
Yeah. He's saying
greatest of all times.
Yep.
Nice.
When do you take the loss? I don't know if this is Orion that I just reimbursed for all the books that got lost in the mail or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that I reimbursed someone for all the books lost. If USPS is watching this right now, you guys suck. A lot of books were lost in the middle of the day.
At midnight Eastern watching the YouTube video.
When do you take the loss/break even on a textbook you are flipping?
Good question.
I know you got a good answer to this.
This is a good question. Forget what you pay for the book. The market does not care. Same thing with selling stocks. Remove the emotion. If you paid $2 for a textbook and you can flip it for $50 and the market drops to $40, you still paid $2 and you're going to sell it for $40. You already won. Drop the price, sell the book. Are you happy selling it? Willing buyer, willing seller, sell the book. End of story. That's it. Right? If you paid $30 for that same book and you thought you were going to get $50 after fees, and now it dropped to $40, now you're only making $10, still sell the book. The market doesn't care what you paid for it. The market just cares what supply and demand is.
18?
What if it drops to 18? Well, you got to make that decision. Are you going to sit on it and wait till it gets back to maybe 30, like Bitcoin? I bought at the top of Bitcoin. I'm a terrible person. Could have spent that money on other things, but I bought it. You can either decide then, are you going to just wait until you're right and maybe the market never recovers? Or at some point, do you cash out and take that $18 and put it back into a better investment, which is maybe more books, maybe it's other categories.
My fly's super open on the screen right
Please,
now.
please close that. So the market doesn't care. Bottom line, it's not as important. And if you get so hung up on chasing $3, let's say you spent $30 and now you're going to make $27 after fees. So you're losing money technically. Forget about that. Think about the fact that you can save or get 27 back and buy more inventory and hopefully make better decisions.
Yeah.
So the market doesn't care. Sell it where the market price dictates.
Don't get your ego attached to it. That's
Yes.
that's what you told me
Yes.
a while back.
That's better. That's way more concise. I should have said that.
So, I already answered these. Congrats on the restricted inventory website. Great move. Should come out with a fitness video using Home Depot boxes. Just lift medium-sized
That would be
Home
awesome.
Depot boxes, baby.
We can use the golf reference. Lift, clean, in place.
That's right.
That's all.
Medium-sized,
Golfers admit it.
medium-sized Home Depot boxes, though. It's legit.
Someone says, "Hey guys, hi."
Hey, what's up, money? I bought the 4 agreements from your recommendation. Nice. Yeah, I appreciate that. Someone bought the 4 agreements from me, and I will ship it to you eventually. But
Did you take somebody's money
I didn't.
and didn't ship it?
Took your money, FedEx money.
Yeah, you did. If you guys want to see visceral reactions, strong reactions, take somebody's money. Don't do what you said you're going to do. You will see very strong reactions.
Yep.
If someone gives you their money, if they invest their time, their money in you, take care of them.
And
That's our
that-
ScoutIQ philosophy. That's just a good customer service philosophy. And yeah, you'll see really strong reactions if you don't pay somebody.
And that is something that a lot of people bashed. We were talking about this earlier today. Pull this out real quick.
Hey, guy, plugging the phone back in.
A lot of people bash, FBA for, Amazon's taking their money, whatever, this, that, like they auto refunded the customer. They didn't give me the choice, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, there's a pissed off customer. Amazon saved you from them. So I don't really like to judge. Like, I think it's, pretentious almost. I don't know if that's the right word, but like people are getting mad at Amazon for, auto refunding these customers, but they're doing the right thing.
You should have done it anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Other questions?
Let's see. Let's scroll back
100 minutes.
up. Yeah, we've been in here for a minute.
100. I gotta go to bed.
We're keeping
All right, let's keep going.
Keep the book flipper up all night. Go ahead and like this video and comment some more questions
so we can't go
below.
to bed. We're already out of beer though.
He flew out to Philly for a reason. We might go on a beer run and come back and do this Q&A. But if you guys want, we're going to answer every single question tonight.
Okay, let's
Every
go.
single one.
Somebody says
He's like,
Jesus equals Amazon.
he's like, get this over with. Get me out of this YouTube live.
I gotta go. My mom's calling.
Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. All the other comments are gone.
No way.
We have to answer these.
Okay, let's answer these.
Today was
It only
a
goes
dud.
back a little bit. Oh,
I guess
those
so.
are from 11 o'clock. You went back to the very beginning. Oh, no, that's midnight.
Break and Profit's in here now.
Break and
Today was a
profit.
dud. You guys got a lot of books. I guess he's saying it looks like we got a lot of books, but for the time, we got about 4%.
How much does it cost to raise a snake? Jameson.
Do you know that? Do you know the snake joke?
I don't, but I just know that
Okay.
Jameson is a snake, apparently.
Jameson is a snake. Yeah, I actually got.
I don't even have to understand. I just know it's true.
So me and Reika went in on a deal together, and I had Bia make the shipment for him, and I had her send a message to him that said, "You are a snake. I know. Avery told me all about you. I know you're a snake."
That's a power move. Okay,
It's a very elementary joke we have going back and forth. It's like elementary school type shit. But there's a YouTube video where this guy's like, I'm a snake, and we think it's kind of funny. But smash that like button, says Rake and Profit. Hey, if Rake and Profit said it, you guys got to do it.
Why are they getting on him for courses?
Rakin is here to plug in his courses. I don't have a course yet, guys, but I will drop a course when I reach my 500,000 goal. And if you guys want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. If not,
if you guys get value out of the content, find a way to pay the person.
Exactly. I used to have my PayPal in my bio, but right now all it is my email list, which provides even more value. So
don't be knocking on courses. Come on, guys.
Yeah. I don't know.
What else you
I
got?
provide a lot of free content. I learned all my free content from this guy. So I paid $5 for your spreadsheet that I used a while back.
free spreadsheet?
The free spreadsheet.
Ah,
yeah.
that makes you stand out.
Yeah. So I wanted to give back to him because I still feel like I'm stealing from this guy to this day.
Probably true.
He's made software for me. He's helped me out with books. He's taught me so much. So it's just like value, value, value. I hope you guys feel that way about me. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see.
All right, what else we got?
But Avery and Caleb giving out info free right now. Same guy. I worked at a hospital when the patient census was down.
Yeah, the number of patients is down. Tensions were high. Yeah, changes stuff.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point.
It's an emotional reaction for sure, but
yeah, it's a sad dynamic. I knew someone who loved to fly.
Going back to
and
doing
became
what
a
you
pilot.
love. Someone who loved to fly became a pilot. He said it ruined his love of flying. I've talked about what my next business is going to be with my wife. Like, we love books. We love the software world. I don't know how long it's going to last. We start thinking, I get bored. Maybe the market changes. Who knows? Maybe we'll outsource it and Matthew can take over the business. I don't know. But we talked about it. I love golf. And I was like, I'd love to find a way to make a living doing golf. And then realized, you know what? Golf is my escape right now. It's my chance to get out and think and listen to podcasts and play and meet other people and be out in nature and stretch my legs. And if I turn it into my business, it might change my love of it. And I have to go back to books to escape golf. I don't know.
Yeah. I think FU money is a big part of all of this.
It lets you do what you want to do. You got to find a balance. Yeah.
I hate working for other people. You got to find a balance and do what you love and with what you love and dislike. I don't dislike books. I actually think I really like books. I get really fired up about it. But I wouldn't say it's my passion. What about you?
It's not my passion.
Yeah.
I love business more so than books. Books are just the current vehicle for business.
Right.
I love business ideas, chatting through, understanding, especially the numbers side of things. But I love business.
Keeping the books alive. That's right. Doing things that you dislike makes you love the things even more.
Do all Amazon booksellers drink a lot? Only the cool ones.
Yeah, everyone on
Just
my
kidding.
channel
You
thinks...
don't have to be cool to drink. We're not.
Everyone on my channel thinks I'm an alcoholic right now. I got a comment the other day like, "Are you an alcoholic?" Because I did like a podcast at like 2 a.m. I don't know.
Drinking shots.
I had some. It's probably his fault. At Turn the Page, he bought a bunch of Costco liquor.
Look,
Terrible.
You can't buy a little thing of liquor at Costco. It has to be like a gallon.
It was huge, and we took like 2 shots collectively as like 5 booksellers, and then I took it back to Nashville, and I'm trying to hold it down now. I'm trying to drink it all before the end of 2019, so that's why I'm doing it, guys.
So no, they don't all drink a lot. When would you merchant fulfill versus FBA? We've covered this before.
Well, you have a different idea on this now. I heard you say.
I think brand new sellers should merchant fulfill. Come at me. Let's go. Let's have this. I think brand new sellers should merchant fulfill. 1, it's less of a learning curve. 2, you feel the pain of shipping the books. 3, you can leave a handwritten note that says, "Hey, thanks for buying." Leave some feedback when you get a chance. Don't tell them to leave positive feedback, but leave them a note. That'll help you get some of your first feedback, which is really difficult to get when you're doing Prime.
Interesting.
Outside of that, once you understand merchant fulfilled and you recognize the benefit of FBA, it might make sense to have a long tail shelf at home. So a lot of stuff, 5, 6, 7 million ranks. Lots of music outside. 5, 6, 7 million ranks that you don't want to send into FBA for some reason. You can list those merchant fulfilled, and if they happen to sell and it's worth $50 to throw in an envelope and ship it, that's a great opportunity as well, and avoid some fees if you guys are scared about that.
Right. Ben says, where do you hire outsourced work? And what do you say in those job advertisements?
I've usually worked through college connections, friends of friends. Find someone who's good, ask them for referrals, just like, Bia, your VA, has volunteered other people already. So find someone who's good and then branch out from there. I've never done a Craigslist post successfully to find scouts. I'm sure you could. I've just kind of leveraged connections because I travel a lot. People come to me and go, "I see you're doing this book thing," and I go, "Great." They can I hire you? Off we go.
Yeah, and I recommend every single one of you start with the virtual assistant. If you guys haven't already,
someone is watching in 2024.
Wow.
Come back to the present.
If you guys want to start with delegating something, you can start with $1.50 an hour, $2.50 an hour. I never paid $1.50 an hour. I just feel bad. But even $2.50, $3 an hour. Onlinejobs.ph. There's a link below. It's my affiliate link. I'll get a little bit of a kickback, but it's. I think you can.
We loved it. That's how we
yeah.
we got 250 applicants overnight.
Yeah.
Had to weed through those, but found 2 quality.
Make them work a little bit in the applicant. Like make them sort. I make them sort the colors of the rainbow in a spreadsheet. I don't really add too much detail to it, and I see how they do it. And if they like color code it and shit, I'm like, okay, this person's legit. And I actually pulled them off the website, but Online Jobs PH doesn't take a percentage, do they?
They don't. You just pay for the postings. So you can pay, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 bucks a month. And then once you land your clients, you can kill it. And they're helping you find the clients. Once you do, you're not paying them a fee every month. We pay them directly through PayPal. And it works great.
So you must have gotten mad when I was talking about earlier. Like I was talking shit about older people, but I'm in my 50s. Yes. I'm sorry for always talking about older people. It's like my audience, but
me too, trying to supplement retirement. Absolutely.
That's right, baby. Yo, this is Mike from 2023. Is there any way to still get a lifetime membership?
Who's that?
Says
Ben. Ben, drop me a line. Caleb at thebookflipper.com. We'll haggle. We did the lifetime special 19 months ago when we launched, November of 2017. Drop me a line. We can't give you that deal. That was as good as it gets, but we can get you close.
Now you mention it, I don't know if I've seen
another female scanning books. There's very few. We're trying to get some female speakers to turn the page because it is so male dominant. We're not trying to get all feminist at all, but there's definitely a different side of the coin.
Are you feminist?
Well, we already had this discussion offline. We'll keep it offline. Love to get some female speakers. We're trying to line up 1 or 2. Hustle at Home Mom, Cashley, if you're watching, we want you to come speak at our conference. Message me.
Come out. I've never seen. Okay.
Another scanner. Period.
Wow.
Okay.
I need to go wherever you are. Contact
where are you?
me.
Don't tell anybody else about scouting.
The last strokes are the toughest to lose.
Golf. Yeah. Do you have Bitcoin? Yeah, I do. Still hold on to it. It's worth way less than when I bought it.
Speakers blown. What does that mean?
I think I was going
Oh, okay. I'm 29. Yeah. You got that beard going, man. You got the 29-year-old beard.
Down for a beer. Sweet.
What's up with the meetup in ATL?
bit.ly/TTP-Atlanta. Come join us.
Dancing equals happiness. That's damn right. Caleb's holding me up with all these questions on this Instagram Live. I'm trying to go salsa dancing right now, y'all, but we're answering all these. What's the 5-figure profits when you have bad health?
Yeah, health is better than money. Money is replaceable. Time is not. Health really isn't. Once your health is gone, it's very difficult to get it back. So yeah, money is not everything.
It's not a real Philly experience till you get robbed by someone at welding a syringe.
Well, we're gonna keep the doors locked tonight.
Did you lock it with the orange key?
I locked it. The keys are right here. Avery left these in the lockbox, which was open last night. We could have been robbed, murdered, kidnapped. I don't know. I think we're safe tonight. Doors are locked.
Also trading. I don't know why I left it out there. No, I think there's really not a reason.
Maybe we thought someone else was joining.
I sell duds in huge lots on Craigslist, advertise with tons of pics, and acting like I want to talk about books. Interesting. Just don't be deceptive. That's my main thing. Just if someone asks, just be like, yeah, I'm an FBA seller.
Pro tip: steal books from libraries or little free libraries.
Dude, side note, my friend, I told my friend, like, I sent him I made a little unlisted YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. I was like, this is it. I was like, just go to this library and go to the library sale and like pull whatever books. Thought it was simple enough. I put them on ScoutIQ team mode. I was like, just go in there.
Scan the books.
Everything that's green, put in a pile. Everything that's red, put in another pile. This dude went to the actual library and scanned all the actual books on the shelves and pulled the books off the shelf. And he had like a huge pile. He's like, bro, this is a gold mine, man. You got to come down here right now. And then like a couple minutes later, he texted me. He's like, wait, dude, I think
they're not for sale.
I think I'm in the library. And he's like, I got a dip. And he just left with all the books on the ground. And I was like, dude.
This is why people hate book scanners.
I didn't pay him anything.
That is hilarious. He's like, dude, I don't know why everybody's not doing this game.
All right, let's see.
That's the best story of the night.
There's a lady that shit talks when she comes into my favorite book spot, and every time I hear her complain, I find a really profitable book. She talks crap about me and other resellers.
I know who this lady is.
Okay, I think I know who that lady is. She's probably the same lady.
She talks a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you actually know who it is?
Is it the lady from Ohio?
I don't know.
I
I
was
was
just
talking about a lady
guessing.
from McKay's. That
No,
talks
there's just
shit
a lot
to
of
me.
people
There's
that are
a lot
very
of shit
negative.
talkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't do any good.
She's really annoying and a good luck charm.
Take what you get.
I think Trump is Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
He comments on my videos too.
This is Michael Green. The ISBN scanner is just amazing. Yeah, you're talking about.
Oh, the OCR scanner.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
we love it.
Commitment, religious attitude,
Just skip all the
patriotism.
Michael Green comments. Where to after Philly? Atlantic City. We're not really gamblers.
Yeah.
Probably New York City, I think.
Something like that.
Any discount for the FBA spreadsheet? Someone already cashed it in tonight. You
It
can
must
click.
have been the book flipper community that brought this guy, because I've never seen this guy before.
Really? I think
Yeah.
I've seen him on ours.
Interesting.
Anyway, discounts on the tracking spreadsheet. Yes, go click Avery's link first. Give him some love. He needs some beer money.
Yeah,
'cause he's an alcoholic.
Links in the description below.
And
Make
then
sure you
use
click
coupon
that.
code bonus50 BONUS50. You can save $50.
Yeah, so the link to his tracking spreadsheet is in the description below. That's a good deal. And since you guys watched this video to 1 minute or 114
This
minutes.
is ridiculous. There's still
It's-
62 of you on here. They're probably
Yeah.
sleeping and their phones are still on. But that's cool. Thanks for watching
Yeah, I
us.
told, like nighttime engagement. It's Romer following. They're night owls, like me.
My World Ecom. Yo,
Where's he at?
what's up,
Where's he at?
Matthew?
Did I
Right
skip
there.
him? Okay. I don't want to skip someone else though. Might have a lot of merchant fulfill not getting books out on time.
Oh, might have lost merchant fulfilled privileges. You might be able to get reinstated
okay.
on that one.
I'm glad you're here to correct me, because I just read messages. I'm like, what does that mean?
My,
And,
my old eyes are struggling to read from this distance.
So my world ecom says, yo.
Yo.
The depraved epoch says, I just got ungated CDs and DVDs and still watching for popular.
Still waiting for popular music. Yep, awesome.
How long does it take to get ungated, and what? Lynn?
Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Once you're good, you're good.
Yeah, I've heard 6 weeks with CDs and DVDs. I've never heard
It's
any
usually pretty quick once you...
definite answer with textbooks. So, like we said earlier, we think you can get ungated in textbooks per ASIN, but that's a pain in the ass because you have to spend about $1,000 per ASIN. So, is it really worth it? What kind of beer and drinks are you enjoying? Some IPA shit from Philly. My God.
I had a Doppel,
I'm drinking a Southern Tier
a
right
double,
now.
Flying Fish Brewing Company.
Yep.
Don't even know where that's from.
So,
12 fluid ounces.
Jeremy Cave says, awesome. Thank you guys. DS says, I bought 100 Bitcoins when they were $2 each. I sold them at $2.40 each. So I don't feel bad.
But you at least made money. You made a 20% return. I have not yet done that.
Should I have a repricer if you're just getting started?
No right or wrong answer. It's not bad to figure it out when you're getting started and then leave it in place and know that you can move stuff pretty quickly. If you're just getting started and you're trying to save money, save the money, don't bother. Repricer is great for your old inventory. Make your mistakes on 6 and 9 month and 12-month inventory, so you're not getting charged with a lot of fees. It's a way to blow some inventory out. But yeah, you don't need it, but it's not terrible.
The Junkman says, anybody ever sold the Hal Lindsey left?
Hal
behind set?
Lindsey left behind set. Sets are pretty good as a general rule. I don't know specifically the Hal Lindsey set though. Couldn't tell you. A lot of those individually are still worth money. You see the Left Behind, the hardcover set, which is interesting. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Junkman says he's in the Bible Belt. Junkman's a hustler. He's one of those declutter guys that gets a lot of shit for free.
Is that the guy with the videos
No,
you were showing
no,
today?
that's the clutter guy. He's up in
Nice.
Wisconsin. He's down in the south. The Junkman is.
Colin Hill says, hey, Colin, we met you in Chicago.
Amazon dealt with the customer, not worth my time. Delegate that. Yeah, in a way, we're delegating a lot when we go FBA.
Colin says, Romer, where my money at?
Oh shit, it's happening.
You gotta
YouTube
start
Live
paying
now.
people.
I
Pay
start
the people.
going in DMs. It's customer service. JK, I know you got my books, but I'd be looking for it. Yeah, on September 5th is when I'm paying everyone. So if you guys have not sent your restricted inventory yet, go ahead and send that in. Maybe will we still see your textbook bump at the beginning of September?
You should through the mid-September.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to wait till the 5th, send me your inventory. I'll pay you on the 1st.
Oh wow!
So there's that.
I pay on the 5th because I actually take time. I run reports, make sure we
I
do
got a
good
VA. I've
job.
outsourced
Am I rude because I close my nose when my dad's sitting next to me after he played football because his jersey smells so bad?
No, that's cool. That's acceptable. You are awesome, Romer. Yes, he is.
Appreciate
Tiger
that.
Roth. Love it. Love it.
Great advice. I'm a new seller.
Keep going.
Is there any way to buy the lifetime
Yeah,
membership?
Ben, you asked this. Caleb at thebookflipper.com. We can haggle something.
Is there a
Lifetime
resource
plans.
to know when a textbook is going to new edition? So you don't lose money?
So books don't lose. Just because a new edition comes out doesn't mean it dies. We've looked at this quite a bit. If a 5th edition is out, the 4th edition is usually still good. 3rd, less good, but still can be good. Learn to read the Keepa charts, understand those. The pattern is pretty much there. So if a book comes out every 2 years and we're almost 2 years out, you can be assume that another edition is coming. They're usually cyclical, either every year, every other year, every 3 years. And you can look at the past few editions to see that as well. What else we got?
He said, is there any resource to know when a textbook is going? Oh, okay.
That's pretty much it. Look at the past performance, past history.
Then Ben Bamboo says thanks, but what about hiring cross country workers? We kind of went over this, or workers cross country, not
Yeah,
locally.
set up team mode remotely with ScoutIQ. You can set their triggers, handle that for sure, which is cool.
Yeah.
I haven't had to do a whole bunch of stuff. Some weird stuff, weird posts.
Thanks,
but
Caleb. I'll drop
anyway.
you a line for sure.
Cool, thanks, Ben. Yeah, as far as hiring scouts, I don't know the best way to post. If you've got great ads you've used, drop those below. Drop them everywhere else. That'd be cool.
We got this Matrix. I'm coming to ATL.
Fun to see your progression as the alcohol is taking effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I
Feel like we're still us.
I feel like I'm still me, but I'm always kind of drunk, so I don't really know.
Be an alcoholic. New York?
What's up with Turn the Page? Is it one thing I'm seeing?
This will be our 4th this year, probably on the high end. I think we'll do 2 next year.
Thanks for helping me get into this gig. I don't know if you're thanking me or him, but either
Both
way,
of us. Much
appreciate
love.
it. I'm cleaning out and sorting my books right now. Not out for sure. Hell yeah. I got, and this. Okay, so now I know where we're at in the comments because I made the night out comment a while
12:45 a.m.
back.
Actually, we're almost caught up.
Yeah, so we're trying to catch up, but
Don't quit now.
I will say this right now: if you guys have questions, we're answering every single one. So comment them below. I'm out here with the book flipper. We got 64 in the house, and it's what time is it? Eastern
It
time?
is 12:51.
What time is it? Mountain
12:51.
time. 10:31. That's early Mountain time. So we got a lot of Mountain time people in here, probably. I'm doing Uber again, watching you at the same time. That's not safe. Don't do that. It's a side hustle outstripping my main
That's
hustle.
awesome.
Caleb and Romer, you guys
Colin
are
says you guys are awesome. I'm not sleeping yet, but soon. Stay awake. We're still answering questions.
I got 126 books today. My numbers are getting better.
You almost had a better day than we did.
Almost. Close, but no cigar. Michael Catus says, I've been paying attention to the
whole time.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you, Michael. Are you on Top Chat or Live Chat?
I don't know what either of those are, so the answer is probably no.
Probably Top Chat because we're on the top. We're the top.
No
people
idea
in
what
this
that
game.
even is.
I don't know either. Anyone know how to reprice? Doesn't
Why
work on
Reprice
Excel?
doesn't work on Accelerlist. Profit Reprice. I don't think it's up and running yet. They are in the middle of switching that over from Jackal is what they called it before. Reach out to Travis.
Reach out to Travis, customer support, Travis at Accelerlist.com.
I'm in Fayetteville. Fayette Chill, as the locals call it. I sold a $500 to $600 book for $3.99 when I first started because I thought it was stupid that someone would spend that much money on a book. I looked up the book after it sold. Whoops. Hey, you still made $3.99. If you paid even $100, that's still a heck of a flip.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Just got the spreadsheet. Thank you much, Diego. Appreciate it. Caleb, do you think the book reselling market is just going to keep getting bigger and eventually people with more business skills will run out the smaller guys? Yeah, any business that eventually gets...
I got all the business skills, so pretty soon I'm going to take over the Book Flipper, Better World Books. They're all going to be out of business pretty soon. So, you're right. I have sympathy and empathy for them.
Do I think it's going to keep growing? Yeah, and again, we asked this question to Better World Books, and they said, yeah, we think the market is still bullish. We think it's still going to keep going, which is awesome. We don't know that for sure. We just know it works today. Will people with more business skills or technology or software, competitive advantage, etc., outrun the smaller guys? At some point, yes, markets do consolidate. Orthopedics, that's the market I came from. They had 5 major players when I was there. They are now down to 4, and maybe another one will get bought out. Smith & Nephew's probably next on the chopping block. Someone will buy them out. they'll probably get down to 3. Most markets get to 3 players. That's just the way it works in a free market because that just basically how it works. So at some point, will a lot of big players run this space? Maybe. Hopefully, we'll be one of those big players when the market consolidates. But until then, there's a ton of inefficiency, and that's where the opportunity comes.
It'll be
from.
interesting to see the next couple of years or next 10 years.
It'll be fun. I'm hoping we're driving the change.
Yeah.
And if not, it's been a fun run while it lasted.
Right. I know you got me, Romer. Much love, guys. Appreciate you.
You betcha.
How
Thanks,
to tell
Colin.
someone that has bad bad breath.
Just tell him.
Bad
Tell him
breath?
straight up,
Bad
bro.
breath right
You
now?
have bad breath. I'm not really smelling it.
Are you one of those people that will, like, call someone out though?
If I know them decently well, yeah.
Like, bro.
I have a weird sense of humor too, so I'll just call stuff out. What else we got?
Interesting. Thanks. Follow.
Pattern on textbooks. Yeah. Buy low, sell high. Sometimes sold books are stranded. Some books are stranded. Can't figure out why. Those might be restricted. Avery will take those for you. Otherwise, you can ask Amazon. When on the road, do you label each book or have Amazon label them? I brought my Dymo. Check out my Instagram story from last night. I showed you my bag. It's full of tape. I actually got called to the side going through TSA because the tape is really dead.
That's
apparently.
hilarious.
So I had the receipt paper for the Dymos, so thermal paper, 2 Dymo, etc. And yeah, that was awesome.
That's
so I
really
got pulled
funny.
aside. We list on the road. So Avery likes to have Amazon list. He can list faster. It's the 10x method. I like to label as we go. I like to save 20
You
cents
save a lot of
book.
money, and if you guys are stationary, and I think a lot of you guys are, you should definitely get in the habit of labeling, because once you delegate that and have a lister label it for you, for every 1,000 books, that's $200 you're paying Amazon. You can save a lot of money doing it yourself. But for me, I just know in that time that I could spend labeling, because the method I use, it's not like if I labeled it, I could still do it as fast. If I labeled it using my method, it would slow me down like 5 times as slow. So I'd prefer to save that much time, because if you guys have not checked out the 10x listing method, check out below. It's a method I use like whenever we do stuff like this, go to bookstores or whatever. I can list books like 200 books an hour by myself. So,
and again, one of the reasons I love traveling is it forces you to put constraints on your business. So when you're sitting there with 1,000 books and you have 1 day to list them, you have to get creative.
Yeah.
So then you either only have to list the expensive books because you don't have time. You have to find a way to ship the books back home, which they better be expensive enough to justify that. And it does force you to get creative and go, yeah, I like to label it. I don't want to pay Amazon 20 cents.
Right.
But I got to get these out the door. And
Right.
that's a great way to stress test your business.
And there's some listing methods where, like, if you're taking the book, you're scanning it, and like you're taking the book, you're grading it, and then scanning it and putting it in a pile, and you're taking another book, scanning it, putting it in a pile. Well, labeling it in that case doesn't really take up that much more time, because it's going to spit out a label and you put it on there. So I've heard people say, well, I label my books and it only took me like an extra 2 minutes. Well, it's like, yeah, because you're already doing a method where you're picking up a book, grading it, blah, blah, blah. But if you're using something like me, everything's pre-graded. Everything's good unless it's not. Everything's going to be scanned in super fast. So to slow down and label things would take a lot longer. So it depends on your method. You can't just say, does labeling add on that much time or not? It depends on the method you're using. So I only source...
Some little free libraries.
Yeah. Hell yeah. How do you prevent yourself from overworking? Like, how do you set boundaries for your time?
No such thing as balance. You're either working too much or you're not working enough. And we were talking to Reezy tonight about that. Work until you're tired of working, then take a break. Veg, relax, do whatever you want until you're tired of being lazy, and then go back and work. I don't know. There's not a great balance for that. Can you set up boundaries? For sure. I've got a kid at home now, 17 months old. Saturday, today. He's 17 months old. It's not really a birthday, but yeah, it's an anniversary of his months, I guess. That's important to me. My wife's important to me.
Sunday now.
It is Sunday now, yeah, since we don't know what day it is. Back in Colorado, it's still...
We've been on this YouTube live so long, it's Sunday. We started this on Saturday,
we gotta wrap
that's
this up.
Sunday.
So yeah, set boundaries for sure. I got an office now because Elliot is at home and it's hard to work with him there. And also when I come home, it reminds me that I'm home and I want to spend time there. But I still work a lot. It is hard to set boundaries when you work for yourself because work is always there. I'm literally this far away from my office.
Do you spend any time looking for first editions?
I do not. Should I? Maybe.
Is the C in Caleb silent like the H in the whiskey?
Or is that the whiskey? See, Caleb, yeah, you're drinking too much. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the whiskey is...
Whiskey doesn't
H,
sound like an H.
Well, the H,
The H
is silent in whiskey.
No, my name is not Caleb. Caleb?
Caleb Roth.
I don't know.
He's been drinking too much, I think.
Apparently.
Not me.
My son is currently in college. I'm trying to get him as a source for textbooks. What do you think would be the best way to recruit him? Well, he's your son. Just tell him he owes you. I'm guessing you're paying for his college. That's all you got.
Give him an incentive. You know, tell him, hey, I'll give you $1,000. I'm going to teach you how to quote these books. Tell him to quote 25% loan merchant. Tell him to get all these textbooks, only under 1 million rank. Whatever it is, set your rules and have him go out. Give him an incentive and then pay him. That's what I would do. Caleb, are you really doing 7 figures? Oh, okay. Wow. How much are you selling?
More than 7 figures.
Do you think it's a good idea to try to discourage new booksellers in your area?
Like slash their tires, put fake stickers on the book so they look expensive, but they're actually not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rover needs more
Okay,
piercings.
Junk Man needs to stop drinking. Can I use AZ labels still while using Accelerlist? Probably, but Accelerlist will let you print labels anyway.
I don't have any piercings, Junk Man. I don't know if I said more. Oh, shit. Have you either read I Will Teach You to Be Rich? Have either of you read I Will Teach You to Be Rich?
Have you read it?
I have not.
This is one I
Did you mention it?
I actually thought about buying it and shipping it to you. I'll do it when you send me my shrink wrap machine that I've already purchased.
Okay.
I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Ramit Sethi in the same camp. He's out of Austin, Texas, I believe. Hangs out with Tim Ferriss, some of those other guys. Great dude. I love the book. I would highly recommend it. He talks about spending extravagantly on things that you care about and then cutting back in other categories. A lot of the FIRE movement, or financially independent, retire early, says cut back everywhere. Don't spend the money on a $4 latte, $5 latte. Don't spend money on Netflix. Just cut out all these things and be really smart and frugal. That's great if you need it. If you have a lot of debt to pay off, do that. Ramit goes the other approach and says, look, don't be stupid with your money. Automate your finances. Tell your money where to go. And then figure out what's important to you. Is it convenience? Is it travel? Is it luxury? Is it food? Is it experiences? Figure out what's really important to you. Go crazy on those categories. Money is a tool. Use it. Stop wasting money in the other categories. So get your priorities in order. Love it. Really good. Really good.
Yeah, I've actually listened to him and Tim Ferriss's podcast. Now you say that, and
He's awesome.
I love that approach. And mine's alcohol, so like I love alcohol, so I'm buying as much as I want. That's kidding. I'm 370 months old.
Thanos is gone. Good to know the world is safe.
Okay, we're on the last few questions. I'm going to make you remember me and have a 6-week intro. I gotta read that one because I can't.
Junk Man something.
I can't.
Thanks for the vid, guys. Awesome. When y'all and Bobby Flippin' Finn. What's up, Bobby? Thanks for hanging out last week in Boston. That was awesome.
Oh shit! Did not mean.
No, you're good.
We're
probably here for the next week.
Yeah.
Avery has a 1-way ticket booked. I have 2 tickets booked because I fly Southwest. I might bail and fly back Tuesday. I might leave my original ticket, fly back Friday. Free refund Southwest. Awesome.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Also not sponsored. Caleb, where's the video where to get the data and fill out your spreadsheet? thebookflipper.com/track and thebookflipper.com/videos. 25,000 books. I need your app. Get the app. ScoutIQ.co. Colin Hill, I'm out. Have a great night. See you, Colin. Thanks for watching.
Out, brother.
Discount code Tracking Spreadsheet. Bonus 50. BONUS 50. Do you guys W9 your book scanners after $600 plus payout? Talk to your CPA. It depends on if you're an independent contractor or not. But yes, after you pay them $600, you should be W9ing. What are your most effective methods to source, advertise for free books? Facebook. Build your own website, etc. Hemo Hustles. Follow him. He's got great advice. And Hello Kitty Dealer. I've learned so much.
And Matt Adolph. Ecom. My World Ecom.
And Michael Minnick.
Yeah, all
right,
great
guys. I'm out. It's all 1 in the morning.
All right, we're out of here. So if you guys want to check out his tracking spreadsheet, link's going to be in the bio.
Knuckles.
He's at the bookflipper.com. He's
At the Book Flipper on Instagram.
The Book Flipper Facebook group. Shit's growing like crazy.
Like a weed.
And yeah, so we appreciate you guys
Much
tuning
love.
in.
55 of y'all still watching. An hour, 33 minutes later.
Yeah, and this is like,
Go to bed.
what time is it? 1:30?
1 o'clock.
Eastern time?
1:03.
Yeah.
You're
So
drunk.
we appreciate you guys. And I'm not drunk, but I am enjoying this beer. So like, comment, subscribe, dislike, do what you got to do, guys. Anyway,
Love
we're
it.
out of here. Peace out.